feet. You can see how such a beautiful day it is here, with everybody's in there with coats off. That's the order of the day. The sun shining very brightly, the ground rock hard, and the 19th and 20th men of both sides now running off the ground to take up their positions on the bench as the band leaves the ground, and umpire Robinson waiting for players to take up their positions before the start. Where's
Bruce Dool gone to centre half back to, as expected, Ted, on the centre half back on Royce Hart. He's had a good record against him. Croswell moving across the half back flank, but I wouldn't expect it to be too long before Croswell gets a run on the ball either.
Has O'Connell gone to the centre? Byrne, number 26, was picked on the wing, and Byrne is in the back pocket now. So, as you suggested, Wes, that O'Connell looks to have gone into the centre.
Nichols to the forward pocket, which is standard practice from the start of last year's grand final, when it was a real match winner. And John Nichols is the player that's going to cause a lot of trouble.
And
317 league games today, and Rex Hunt will be the player to mind him at this stage, I would suggest.
Davis to full forward, Butch, and Jezelenko is out.
On the flank.
On the flank.
Sheedy in the centre too.
All right, there it is. Over 100,000 people, 120,000 people here as umpire Ian Robinson gets ready to start the big game for our viewers throughout NWS 9, Adelaide, QTQ 9 in Queensland, NBN 3, Newcastle, and TCN 9 in Sydney. We hope you're going to enjoy the game of the year from the MCG. Umpire Robinson moves in, bounces the ball, and Big Roberts is in position, taps it down, right over there towards O'Connell, who gets a short kick in towards Jezelenko, and play on is the call. It goes to Sheedy. Sheedy gets it over here towards Bartlett. Bartlett's long kick goes around the grandstand side, knocked away, and moving in hard as wood for Richmond. His handball is astray, goes towards Ray. He was tackled, dropped it. A handball here back to Bartlett for his second kick. If he gets it, he's pushed from behind, but play on is the call. And by gee, what an opening, Butcher Boy.
A great opening, and Bartlett receiving heavy treatment there. Ian Robertson right on the ball here. The free kick will go to Wayne Walsh. He's kicking from the half-forward flank right in front of the members' stand here at the MCG, and a good long kick from Walsh. It's offline, and a shocker, but just made the line, and it's going to be a throw-in. Oh, it's out on the full.
But Stephen Ray for Richmond has been hurt in the first minute of play. He's in the hands of the trainers already. I think he may have been hit a little low there. He was clutching his chest there for a moment, but he looks to be okay now.
Stephen Ray. A stalemate here now. Kick taken by Byrne, kicked right into Ray again, who's messing around with the trainer there. Missed the flight of the ball. Stewart's in there, overruns it, back to Robert Walls. Robert's Walls kick, a snap one out here towards Cottagio, but it's way offline, over the line for a throw-in.
Fowler, number 11, watches the ball go over the boundary line as the boundary umpire moves in, and players possibly will take a quarter to settle down, as they normally do in the grand final. The throw-in now. On the ball, Big Robertson, Mackay. Roberts gets a tap down, goes out here towards Jezelenko with the ball. A hurried kick straight to the centre of the field, and Dick Clay with pace personified moves out from centre half back. One bounce, and look at this boy go. Two bounces and a long kick. Oh, it's dropping short right into the hands of Vin Waite of Carlton at centre half back. Vinny Waite playing in the back pocket. Takes the mark and puts Carlton back into attack once more, dropping short. Bartlett's there, got his hands to dropped it, recovers, swings onto his left boot, puts it up forward, looking for Big Neil Baum, who flies. Good defensive football by Carlton as the ball goes over the boundary line for a throw-in. We've been playing 3 minutes, no score on the board as yet.
Throw-in now, still in Richmond's forward pocket. They've had the run of the ball at this stage, but not able to set up a chain reaction there. There's a hit out by Jones, gets it again, puts the boot to it, out deep to the flank, racing for it, Wood. Chance overruns it. Tap back again by Sproul, picked up by Gary Crane. Gary Crane's kick finds the centre wing. Oh, could have been a free kick against Jezelenko. He plays on now. Look at him go. A long kick in towards Nichols. Nichols. Oh,
free kick.
Mackay.
Free
at
kick.
The point. And Nichols is down, is it?
Yes.
Nichols down. Very heavily met there by Dick Clay. And umpire Robertson, no doubt, Ted, you think he'll play a free kick here?
Oh, there's no doubt he has to play the free kick. Puts the moment Nick went down. I watched the umpire, he blew the whistle, and he no doubt will take the free kick. John Nichols looking for a towel.
Couldn't it have almost been a 15-yard penalty? I thought he'd taken the mark first. I thought he was hit after he'd actually taken the mark.
Well, comments from Wes Loves, the former Carlton star fullback, and had a lot of experience.
It is in fact 15 yards.
It is. He's given him 15-yard penalty or 15-metre penalty, and Big Nick looks a little groggy. And I tell you what, it'll take a pretty hard bump to make him groggy.
Well,
because
Ted, I
he's
meant
a
to
big
mention
boy.
this before the game started. There's not anybody has tried the big fella up until now, and that was a fair dinkum try. And it looks as if there's going to be no holds barred here.
Okay, now Big John is only 20 metres out from goal, directly in front, and could be the first score of the match. Captain and coach of Carlton, 316 games of league football, moves in. Will favour the floating punt. Steadies on its way. He's steered at it, and he's poked it through. The first goal of the game to Carlton, kicked by their captain and coach in John Nichols. The scoreboard, Carlton, one straight goal with Richmond yet to score, and we've been playing 5 minutes. Let's have a look at John Nichols once more in the hands of the trainers, pushing them away. He's okay. Let's hope he is anyway, because such an early start to in a game to get an injury like that, Carlton certainly would miss the big fella.
There's a lot of sense into. There's the time clock, 5 minutes in already. A sensational incident. Bounce. In goes Roberts. Tapped away. No clean hit out there. Pushed out deep towards the wing where Gary Crane races for it. Chance for Walsh. Walsh getting to the front and breaking away with pace. A good kick into the flank and found young
Stephen Carter.
Carter it is, yes, the new boy Carter. And he's got a shot for goal now from about 40 metres out. On an angle.
Look at Sheedy on his own.
Short one. And Sheedy slipped but took the mark. Good play there by the young boy Carter. And it's now about a 25-metre shot at goal. Sheedy, big occasion player this fellow. It's a nice low shot, giving you an idea of how it looks from the player's angle. Sheedy squaring up to goal now. It's not an easy shot, but it's well within his capabilities. Drop punt, slightly short, right on the line.
Oh, I think it's a goal.
As it's through, and it's goal, and it's 2 straight goals. 1 goal each, and the scoreboard.
There's Kevin Sheedy playing in the centre, just kicked the goal, the first goal, so scores are level. 1 goal apiece, and we've been playing now 6 minutes into the first quarter.
What about Ian Stewart, Ted?
Ian Stewart. What about him, Wes?
I can't see he's taking up a position there, Ted.
Oh yes,
he's
out
back
there.
into
There's
the
the bounce
centre now.
now at centre field. There's Ian Stewart there, going up with big Peter Jones down towards Dixon of Carlton. Failed to get his kick. Goes towards Ray. He lost possession of the ball. Stacks on the mill. And umpire Ian Robinson moves into bounce just 10 metres away from the centre circle. Number 6, Gary Crane.
Very
The
scratchy
bounce.
start.
Up they go again. Big Jones gets a tap then up towards Walsh of Carlton, number 18. Off after the ball, pushed by Bartlett. Helps him on his way. He goes around the outer side wing, and here's a race for the ball. The boundary line could be too close for Jezelenko. Over it goes for a throw-in.
Mackay moving right across. Jezelenko handing the ball back to the boundary umpire. It's deep on the half-forward flank. Pretty well the centre wing position. Mackay and Roberts. Mackay moves in. Roberts got to it, but not a clean one. Taps it again. Francis Burke nearly had it. Down onto the ground. Nicely taken away by Kane. In towards centre half forward. Here they go. Sprinting for it. Croswell running back against the flow of player. Bad hand pass. Recovers again. In trouble. Ray into his back. And it's going to be
Round the neck.
kick, I reckon, to Croswell.
Yes, around the neck, Butch. The umpire had a good look at that and will pay it to Brent Croswell at centre half back, playing in the key position at this stage with the ball. The kick straight down the centre with a torpedo punt, looking for Walls, and the free kick goes to Robert Walls for being pushed in the back. Number 42, the vice captain of Carlton, at centre field now with the ball. Robbie McGee moving back now into defence. The kick is dropping short. Who's there? Walsh didn't try to mark it. Moves over towards Kane. Picks it up. Threw it away. McGee's there. He picks it up. Handballs towards Walsh. Taps it back here towards Bartlett. Bartlett goes deep wide around the grandstand side wing. But chipping in there to take a good mark was Byrne of Carlton. On centre wing, the grandstand side. Blues in. The kick. High one. Right up to the half forward line. Robert Walls is there. McGee of Richmond knocked away defensively to Stewart. Handballs back. Oh, silly handball to Walls. Tackled by Walsh. Crane is there on the bottom of the pack. The umpire may ball it up. It looks like he will.
Yes, pretty nervous start there by Stewart in particular. A hand pass back. Both sides trying to get their confident play going. Mackay hits out towards Crane, but Robert Walls snapped it back. Trapped by Francis Burke. He moves through, tries to pick it up, loses it. Katoggio in
Free
there
kick.
hard. Free kick to
Katoggio.
Katoggio, and he'll take this kick from centre wing. Look to play on, but
Francis
that's
Burke's in
called
trouble.
to play on.
Francis Burke's in trouble as play goes on, and up to the half forward line it goes. Back to Bartlett. and the umpire's found a free kick here to Richmond, and it's going. There's Francis
Michael
Burke.
Green.
You can see him there limping very badly as the kick by Green goes up towards Royce Hart, and Hart has marked that centre field. Burke could be in trouble for Richmond. By gee, he's a valuable player. As the umpire has given a 15-metre penalty here against Robert Walls of Carlton, and Royce Hart, the Richmond captain, to take the kick.
His first kick of the game too, and placed neatly out onto the flank. Sheedy sprinting for it, couldn't quite make it. Pennell races into the ball, dragged around the neck, and an obvious free kick will go to Phil.
Oh, down the... Oh!
He's come far now, and this is going to be a very, very tough affair. In fact, I think we're in the right posse here.
Now the umpire could give this the other way. He's taken it, give it the other way to Sheedy against Finn Waite of Carlton.
He's going to take a very firm hold of this game, and he'll need to.
Well, I hope he does, Butch, because it's the biggest game of the season, and this is one game where he can show he has matured as an umpire.
Scores are even. Time is getting on towards the 10-minute mark as Sheedy now places the ball right on the end of the square. Up they go. Baum got the hands to it. It's with Dool now. Dool's kicked back to exactly the same position. Players underrunning the ball, and it'll trot over the boundary line. Another throw in.
On centre wing, or the half-back forward flank, I should say, for Richmond, the outer side. Boundary umpire prepares to throw in. Trainer out to see Sheedy. There's the throw in. They go up high, Big Green from behind, knocks it over towards Cottogio of Carlton. He gathers in the ball, dummies around onto a left turn there, swings back onto his right boot, gets his first kick, and down to centre field went Crane of Carlton, flew high and took a nice mark. He'll play on immediately, looking for a player upfield to give him a lead. Here it comes from the big fella. Big Nick roos out from full forward, flies in the pack. There's no mark, tries to pick it up. Dick Clay release for Richmond. Kick wide out here towards the half-back flank, and Ian Stewart moves onto the ball now. Has it in his possession. Steadies onto his right boot, puts a short one looking for Carter, but the boundary line's too close, and a throw-in will take place once more at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter.
Richmond playing too wide on this big MCG ground, going to the flanks. Michael Green on the ball with Jones. Oh, bad throw in. The umpires are throwing the ball in long, and these experienced players should know that this will happen in a final. Michael Green now gets the free, plays on in towards centre half forward. Royce Hart in the middle of the pack, so's Baum. Royce Hart tried to recover, couldn't quite get to it. Bruce Dool races through, takes the ball clean and clear out to Dixon and Wood. They're both the wingers sprinting for it. Dixon outran Wood then. Too close to the boundary line and over for a throw in again.
Butch, I was interested to see how Francis Burke got over that injury. Wes, did you pick it up?
He seems to be, he's still favouring it, Ted, but he's back on his feet, and this will be an encouraging sign for Richmond. A lot of
throw in
courage.
from the boundary line goes to young Carter onto his left boot, now up to the forward line. Moving in very hard there was Southby of Carlton, who forced the ball over the boundary line for a throw in once more. Jeff Southby, the top full-back in Australia here at the moment. Been playing 11.5 minutes into the first quarter. The throw-in goes down here towards Walsh in trouble. Taken away by Dool of Carlton, but a free kick
against Walsh.
A free kick goes to, looks like, Paul Sproul of Richmond, and here would be something, there's like 30 metres out. Francis Burke still walking around with that leg there. Let's hope it's not the injury that he's had for some 3 to 4 weeks, because if he does, he certainly will be in trouble.
15-metre penalty too, Ted.
A 15-metre penalty goes against Peter Jones here of Carlton, as Sproul is now well within kicking distance, and if he kicks this or kicks a score, Richmond will go to the lead for the first time in the match. Sproul moves in, steadies, favours the drop punt on its way. The goal umpire runs like hell, and he's missed and put it through for 1 point.
Miss.
A bad miss to Paul Sproul, and Richmond go to a 7-point on the scoreboard now to Carlton, 1 straight goal. 7 points to 6.
And Carlton with possibly the scoring end in this early part of the first quarter. It's a pretty much of a stalemate, this game. Both teams hating to give the break away. Jones got it to hand to it, but Youngwood held the mark and held it well. Wide out on that half-forward flank, kicking to the scoreboard end goal. A 15-metre penalty here again, and Robinson's going to take charge of this by showing his authority at any chance. I think he's doing the right thing too. The kick will find the end of the square. Packed there, up they go. Oh, a good big punch by Waite. Down it comes Southby, lost it. Scrambling play, Stacks on the mill. The umpire will move in and bounce this. Well in Richmond's forward line. In fact, they've had the advantage in this 13 minutes of play.
I thought there could have been a free kick to Bartlett there, Butch.
Could easily have been. In they go. Wrestling around, chance for Jones. Lost it again. He's not timing it well. Has a hand pass out here. Racing for it, Walsh. Walsh in front. Tackled solidly. It's down again to Carter. Carter's hand pass is a bit wild. Oh, over towards Baum, and
free kick.
Trouble here.
Sheedy
to get the free. Ch9's a bit of a thorn in their side here, moving around this forward line, and pretty hard to pick up too.
Around the shoulder, he paid that free kick to Kevin Ch9, and Richmond attacking, doing a lot of attacking in this first quarter, and lead by 1 point. 1 goal, 1 Richmond, 2 Carlton, 1 straight goal. Ch9 now 35 metres out from goal on an angle, moves in with a drop punt again and looks good too. Both kicked by Kevin Ch9. Let's look at the scoreboard now. Richmond, 2 goals, 1 leading Carlton, 1 straight goal. A good start by Richmond, Weslops.
A good start, and some of the Carlton defence, I think, a bit toey, giving away unnecessary free kicks. Ch9, as you've already mentioned, proving a bit of a danger man. He gains a bit of respect, and he's getting him in a bit.
Yes, and back to the centre again. Umpiring Robertson, very technical in his decisions here, but very, very correct. In they go. Michael Green tapped it down. The ruckman, a stalemate at all times. Now, very little clear work in the ruck, and whoever settles down here will give their side terrific momentum. A bounce again.
This has been a battle of defences so far in the first quarter, Butch, as the bounce goes down here towards Wood. He tried to kick it off the ground, couldn't do so. Kevin Ch9 picks it up with all the time in the world, puts it up there looking for Royce Hart. Hart had the ball but lost it. Coming out very hard there was Byrne of Carlton. Right down looking for Robert Walls, but McGee is there for Richmond, number 12. The tattooed skinhead, they call him, Robbie McGee, Bones. And he's playing a centre half back on a shocking kick, goes to the centre of the ground. Oh, nearly a mark taken, but Mackay moves on for Richmond. For Carlton, puts in a short one and a nice pass, finds Kevin Hall at centre half forward. Kevin Hall, a very versatile player, been in and out of the side for years now, has a high kick, looking for his captain and coach John Nichols running across, and Davies!
Craig Davis grabbed it. Oh, good mark.
Nice mark, puts my word, right on the boundary line. And that is a very, very difficult position to kick a goal from, particularly under windy conditions as they are prevailing here today. Craig Davis now moves in, kicks the drop punt. There's no score here. It's across the face of goal. They fly, and there's a free kick Richmond's way. Butch, what was it?
Mike Green, Jetselenko held his shoulder, and it's going to be a free kick, obvious free kick to Richmond. Michael Green. Now, both sides taking far too long. Neither side has got their play-on game going. Mike Green's kick, finding the half-back flank. Mackay went up high, down it came to Dool. Players very, very awkward. A hand pass out to Gary Crane, running into trouble, got out of it. Out of trouble again, gets onto the right foot. The courageous Gary Crane went down after that. Dick Clay dropped that mark, back to Michael Green again, right hard up in that back pocket. Tackled by Craig Davis. A hand pass, and scrambling again. Craig Davis in there, wrestling around. Nichols in there too. And the umpires look, it's declared.
Hunt.
Play on. The ball was kicked over the line. It's now John Nichols' kick from it's going to go back to Craig Davis. The big fella tried to take the kick, but the umpire insisted that Craig Davis take this kick in. The ball out on the full. Now
what these players have got to do, kicking a ball from that particular spot, rather than just kick at the goal, they've got to kick practically towards that first goal post. But there goes the kick now. Again, he's done the wrong thing. And no score again from 2 direct shots in the same position. It's over the boundary line on the full, and a free kick on this occasion is taken by Francis Burke of Richmond. The kick, oh, it's not a good kick, it's falling short. Ian Stewart pops in there and takes a well-judged chest mark. Francis Burke looks okay now as Stewart on the half-back flank goes for the high kick. Peter Jones is there, and so is Big Hart, knocked to the ground there, Bartlett, and now it's Gary Crane onto his left boot, down to Big Roberts, too slow to get out of his own way, and Jesselenko's there. He's playing the 3 of them there, Jesselenko, but the ball was forced over the boundary line for a throw-in. 18 minutes gone now in the first quarter, and we find Richmond 2-1, 13 to Carlton, 1 straight goal.
And Richmond very much avoiding that centre, going round the flanks. Roberts hit out here to Sproul. Bartlett. Sproul picks up, breaks away. A good long kick right up here to Neil Baum, and South be the champion. Baum hits back. James McCarter moves through hard. Byrne with him, back to Carter. Carter in trouble, and it's still in play. Baum is
the boundary umpire
cleared it out of bounds.
The goal umpire called that one out, Jeff. The boundary umpire missed it, and he referred it back to him and called it out.
Fair enough. Throw in now in Richmond's forward pocket, and probably the best thing that could have happened there. Now a chance to score full points.
Did he kick that goal then when play was called?
No, I think it went through the points, Ted. Anyhow, it's hardly worthwhile. Tell you what, Ted, it's a very slow start.
It is a slow start, Butch, as I said before, the battle of defences, particularly in the first quarter, until play does settle down. But I think when they do settle down after the first quarter, you'll see some good passages of play, because it's a day for, for speed. of the hard ground, and some of these players are very, very fast indeed.
I'd like to make one real criticism here, Ted. It happened last year in the finals where people in the crowd keep the ball. They have no idea how much they interfere with the game in doing it. Now there's the first new ball to be used, thrown in from Richmond's forward pocket and the big fella's group. In they go, up goes Michael Green, a beauty, down to hard, a left foot shot. It's going to be one more point to Richmond and the scoreboard. 2 goals, 14 points, leading Carlton 1 goal, 6 points. Carlton having had 4 shots but only scored 1 goal.
That's the third football that's been lost behind the scoreboard end goals today, particularly in the second 18 they lost 2 and now 1 in the senior game. The kick out by Southby goes where Big Roberts didn't even try to mark the ball, punched the ball out towards Sheedy. He takes the ball, handball, not a good handball there, played on, out towards Hart. Hart's handball wasn't good either, and Bruce Dool dips in for Carlton, puts in a short one around the wing, and a good mark taken here by Robert Walls. He plays on to his left boot up towards Jesselenko. Jesselenko moves now with the ball, lost it, punched it very hard to centre half forward, and plays on. Look at him go. Oh, chipping in there now was Walsh. He tapped it out. Jesselenko to Kevin Hall. Onto his left boot goes Hall, looking for the big fella Nichols. It's Nichols and Green. They fly. No mark. Close to goals, and could be a goal. No, the goal umpire.
Touched by Hunt.
The goal umpire said it was touched, and 1 point on the scoreboard to Carlton. So the score's now Richmond 2 goals, 2. Carlton 1 goal, 1, and we've been playing 20 minutes into the first quarter. 7 points the difference, and no side yet has become the dictator as Dick Clay takes his kick in from fullback.
Big Roberts moves in. Mackay couldn't get the hand to it. Down to Stewart. Stewart tackled solidly there by O'Connell, and the free kick will go. Holding the ball is a decision by G's Quick, and O'Connell's short one into Robert Wolves. Backing back was the chance there for Kane. He clears the ball.
Oh, look at this.
Carlton here out on the centre wing, but an awkward one. Leaves it to Jones. Jones in 2 minds, comes back, takes the ball, a short one out here, and finds O'Connell on centre wing. Interfered with, but the umpire said no, we'll take your kick from there, and O'Connell now plays on. A bit more of a pattern setting up now. In towards centre half forward. All players wrestling there. Chance for Francis Burke. Down to Kane again. He clears the ball out towards centre wing, and Richmond still going wide with their kicks. A chance here for Byrne, but it's Croswell, and put the arm up and play on. And Byrne now puts the ball into Jesselenko.
Look at this, will you? What's going on here?
A real punch up, and there's another one out here in centre half forward. Oh, very, very toughy this game. It can develop into a real slaughter. Jesselenko has copped that one pretty hard.
There's been a couple of nasty wax puts, starting off with John Nichols in the first minute of play. There's Big Nick pushing Francis Burke away. A bit of a wrestling match there as the big whale moves in and pushes him away, and the umpire, Ian Robinson, decides to ball up now at centre half forward on Carlton's forward line. Players moving away from the big pack as the ball is bounced. They go up high. Nichols takes it with a long handball. Goes out here towards Hunt of Richmond onto his left boot. They're out of trouble. They go out centre wing, but it's all Carlton from the half-forward line down as O'Connell has it. Threw it away, literally. Goes out towards Pennell. Pennell doesn't know what to do with it. Taps it along in front of him, but over the boundary line for a throw-in at the 22.5-minute mark of the first quarter. 7 points of difference in Richmond's favour. The throw-in from centre wing, the outer side. There they go.
Mackay got it. Down onto the ground. Oh, it's getting very tough out there. Mackay buried a player there, and another free kick here will go to Wood of Richmond, the Richmond winger. Long blonde hair, and his kick finds his own centre wing. They will not go up the middle. Dool punches over the top of Royce Hart, and it's another throw in on centre wing.
Ron Wilson, our statistician, what's the total free kicks both sides so far? Free kicks is 7 and 8. It's 15 free kicks so far in the first quarter. Mackay gets a big tap down, goes to Sproul of Richmond, swings onto his right foot. I thought he was going left, but he kicked it very high, making it hard for Royce Hart. Out towards Peter Jones, moves in very slowly and dummies around for a big fellow. He's not bad. Gets his kick, and it's all Richmond on this occasion, where Stewart moves in and takes a nice mark, and the halfback flank very close to centre wing. On the outer side, Stewart looking for a lead upfield. He comes right across the centre. By G's picked out the Carlton players. No Richmond player within Cooey as Crane of Carlton gathers in the ball. Swings onto his right boot all the time in the world. Looking here for big Kevin Hall, who flies. No mark. Goes down here towards Burke, who was offloaded there. This time it goes out now, and we find coming in hard number 10, Kevin Sheedy, pulled around the neck. And the umpire, I think it's Kane, it's not Sheedy. Let's have a look at him. Yes, it's Kane of Richmond. Did you go along with that, Wes?
Yes.
Well, I did, but it penalised the Richmond side. They'd broken clear.
Yes, and Richmond playing the man a bit too much. The kick in towards centre half forward. Southby well underneath it. So too was Pennell, but it scooted off the ground out here towards Sproul. He moves through hard, times it well. Blake's got a chance, but he's a long way out. Puts it up high to Neil Baum. Baum and Mike Green in there. Down onto the ground it comes. Chance for Pennell again.
Oh!
But he kicked it out on the ball. No, he's declared it
Well, he
over
did.
the line before he kicked
the
it.
first one. Yeah, I'm with you. Sorry.
So
Yes.
in now in Richmond's forward pocket, scoreboard 14 points to 7. And in go the big fellas again. Michael Green rucking well, but couldn't get it out clear. Chance for Sheedy Hart. And Hart's right foot kick out on the full. And Southby, the champion fullback for Carlton, wearing the number 20 Guernsey, will take this kick in.
Right in the back pocket, the last line of defence now. And the huge crowd here at the MCG waiting for the fast electrifying play to get underway. It's been a battle of defences, as we've already mentioned on 2 occasions. And it looks like Pennell will take the free kick. There's another football. Failed to come back in from the crowd, and that's the 4th now. If it doesn't come back, that's been lost here this afternoon. And as you said before, the VFL will be screaming butts because, as you said, 15 to 20 bucks a piece.
Oh, not only that, Ted, it interferes with the game. This is what my concern is, that a team gets a run on, and a break like this is terribly important. That's, I think, had a bad effect on it up to now.
Well, I appreciate your point, mate. I'm not
Well,
arguing
these will
with
run
you.
pretty long quarters now. We're just ticking over into time on, so
I
I'd say about a
suppose,
32-minute quarter.
I suppose, Wes, when this does happen, it gives you a little bit of a breather out there.
Well, that's one thing to be said, but of course, depending on, quite often, as Butch has mentioned, it does hold it up and gives the ruckman time to get back and slow it down.
Right, Pennell now from the last line of defence takes his kick. Around the grandstand side, Roberts in front, flies with Croswell. There's no mark and goes down to Sproul, playing well in the first quarter. Gets around a handball out here towards Sheedy. He's kicked 2, and that looks like his 3rd for the Tigers. 3 goals kicked by Kevin Sheedy in the first quarter, and well played there, Paul Sproul. The scoreboard now, Richmond 3 goals to 20 to Carlton 1-1-7. Good scale.
And another point there, Ted. Royce Hart limping badly, just backward of the diamond.
Wes Lofts, a good start by the Tigers.
Oh, tremendous start. Kevin Sheedy, as we mentioned earlier, seems to have them in, and I'm wondering how long it'll be before they shift someone else onto him. Pennell, not always tight.
Well, as a ruck rover, he's pretty hard to pick up, and he's a very shrewd, courageous player. The ball back into the centre for the bounce again. This is a good lead now, 3-2 to 1-1. Hit out here towards Jezelenko. Jezelenko plays on quickly up towards Craig Davis, but over the top play, down to Robert Walls, out to Nichols. Free kick here, yes, free kick to Robert Walls.
He was held, Butch, whilst not in possession, and also pushed in the back. Did you pick that up, Wes?
I thought so, Ted. It's on, and this, of course, if Walls gets this up, this will bring it back that little bit closer. It's a bad start for Carlton.
13 points down, Carlton now with their vice-captain Robert Walls, the star of last year's grand final. Only about 20 to 25 metres out and doesn't miss too many. Drop punt. Looks neat. It's just a fraction short and offline. 1 point and touch, says the goal umpire. And a bad miss. That brings Carlton to 1-2. Richmond 3-2.
Butch, watching that ball as it was kicked there, looked as if the scoreboard end could be the scoring end. It's very choppy, as we said before. We're into time on now. 27 minutes gone in the first quarter. So kick in goes by Clay out towards Ian Stewart. Dropped an easy mark back towards the full forward area, but it's over the boundary line on the full, and a free kick will be taken here by Rex Hunt of Richmond. He's in the back pocket. John Nichols on the mark, and the umpire moving over will give a 15-metre penalty against the captain and coach of Carlton in John Nick. And Nick having a few harsh words to say to the umpire as Hunt takes his kick around the outer side, looking for Big Roberts. Jones from behind, put his big arms up, failed to hold the mark, down to Roberts with a long handball. Out here as Dool takes it away from Hart, kicks it up to the forward line. Jezelenko there, over the top, and a free kick against Jezelenko will be taken here by Kane of Richmond. He plays on, nowhere to go, pushed from behind, the crowd roar, but there's no Richmond player there, and Pennell takes it to mark and centre half back.
Yes, Pennell, a good solid mark there. And again, it's kick-for-kick football, but one team will get the break. There's another 15-metre penalty. I think he's overdoing this, Ted. Like, I know he's correct, but let the game flow. Pennell, good kick. Right deep in towards centre half forward. Mackay in there, punched away by Burke. Stewart punches, back to Mackay. Mackay's long shot, and it looks good.
He's put it through. A goal to Carlton, kicked by David scoreboard now. Richmond, 3 goals, 2. Carlton, 2 goals, 2. 6 points the difference, and Carlton coming back, Wes.
A great goal by David Mackay on that occasion. I'll be interested to see in the second quarter which way, in fact, the wind is favouring. But Mackay, resting so far on the forward pocket, hasn't done a lot of work up on that forward line. No doubt he'll come into it more later. 28
minutes now into the first quarter being played as umpire Robinson prepares to bounce the ball once more, and there it is. Moving in hard as Green on the ball with Jones. Jones takes it out of the air, kicks it down looking for Robert Walls. It's Walls and McGee, no mark. Play on as players go in hard. Dick Clay, tackle from behind, and Dick Clay will take the free kick. He was held from behind whilst not in possession of the ball, and players on the outer side, and another 15-metre penalty going against Carlton.
I think, Ted, too, that both sides are very much aware of stopping the other playing on, and they're, in fact, at times giving up this 15-metre penalty for the sake of that.
Clay with the ball now from the half-back flank. It's a torpedo punt. Nice looking kick. You can see the wind holding it up in transit, looking for Royce Hart. Hart in front, dropped it. It goes down to Stewart. Forced his way through a pack onto his natural kicky boot, which is his left. Looking for Baum. No mark. To Carlton, to the ground. Chipping in there was Sheedy with a long handball. Ricocheted off a Carlton player. And look at him going in. Pushed in the back. No free kick there. And coming out is Vinwade of Carlton. Onto his left boot, looking for Cottagio. And Gary Crane went through very hard there. And Sproul. Now it's Walsh. The bounce beat the ball apart from Crane. Crane's kick us up to the half-forward line.
Courageous play out here to Mackay. Mackay deep on the flank. Just he's over the line and couldn't quite hold his footing there. Takes the ball over. A throw in now. And that boundary umpire overworked. The field umpire insisting to Mackay to give the ball back.
Some of these players are going to feel these conditions a little later on, Tubby.
Definitely, Ted. Very hot day here in Melbourne. Up they go. Michael Green rucking well. Hits down again. Cottagio a little bit out of his field, and a free kick against Cottagio, and by gee, this fella's technical.
Fowler with the kick.
Fowler, good back pocket player, this fella too. It's no insult to young Cottagio to be beaten by him. There's a hit down by Dool, but Sproul cleared it in towards Pennell and Sheedy. Pennell too fast for Sheedy there. Clears right across the centre. Deep out to young Craig Davis flying. Couldn't quite recover, and here's a nice break. Kane's got it. Right from the centre of the ground, a long kick right up the wood. Baum dropped it. And Southby moves through. Baum has it now. Hand pass out to Ray. He gives it back to Baum. Bad play, but Baum now shoots for goal. 1 point.
Well, it was a little bit of bad football there, Butch, but it came off for a score. Could easily have been a goal. The scoreboard now, Richmond, 3 goals, 3 to Carlton, 2 goals, 2. We've been playing 31 minutes into the first quarter. Good passage of play, fast football, exactly what the public are looking for, and you can see the time clock yourself. As Southby prepares to take the kick in now. A lot of deliberation and a beautiful looking kick right around the centre wing. Green is there for Richmond, and Green, uncontested, plays on. Gives it over this time to Kane once more, who's steady. He's playing well on the half-back line. Up now looking for Carter, who flies. There's no mark. It goes down here towards Sheedy, or Ray, I should say, of Richmond, who snaps shot for goal, is offline and goes through for 1 point. Wesloff's Carlton's back line are playing very tight, but occasionally they do lose concentration.
Well, they are losing. They're a bit, as I mentioned earlier, a bit over edgy. They've given away a few free kicks, and they need to be careful with Sheedy and also this handball of Richmond's, of course, which opens up any back line.
Wes, I really think the point you made before is more important. Both sides are not wanting to give away that break, so they're keeping it pretty tight. There's the ball punched down again. It's Bartlett moving through hard, grab, slung, and it's going to be against Bartlett for dropping the ball, and this fella is a very technical umpiring exhibition, but he is also correct. Repeating myself, I know, but the ball now goes back here to Dixon. David Dixon, the Carlton winger, looking to place it out to the flank again, going wide. Robert Walls led well, was on it by the kick, and now has the kick from centre wing. Very, very strange football here. The kick into the centre of the ground. Now Mackay in good position takes the mark. Carlton want to hang on to this ball, no matter where they play it to. Let Richmond get a bit frustrated. Long kick, wide up here. Young Craig Davis and Dick Clay, and Clay outmanoeuvred the kid there. Good play and a good solid mark to Dick Clay. He's got his worries down there, but that Carlton forward line not working as well. I'd prefer to see Jezelenko closer to goal.
The kick by Clay now around the grandstand side. Green's there. He missed the mark. It goes to Ray of Richmond onto his right boot. Out looking for Sheedy. It was a missed kick, but it came off. And Sheedy has taken a mark. He'll play on here with a long handball to Sproul. He's put him under the hammer. A hurried kick by Sproul. Up to the goal square. Is it going to be a goal? No. It's offline and gone through for 1 point to the Tigers at the 32.5 minute mark. 3-5 Richmond to Carlton. 2 goals, 2, and not a bad lead. The kick in by Southby.
Good kick too, beautiful kick. Mackay and Francis Burke. The ball punched down. Dixon retrieving the ball. Carlton roving very well to those hit downs. Dixon well shepherded there by Mackay. His kicks high out towards Jesaulenko. Jesaulenko backing back and a great mark to Stewart. Stewart working all over the ground here today. And by Giesny got some talent. Deep on the half-back flank now. Putting the ball back into the centre to Mike Green on his own. A lot of players finding lonesome positions. A hand pass to Bartlett. Bartlett's good even kick. A chance for Big Roberts. Interfered with his own player in Baum. Baum and Roberts. Roberts pats the ball out here towards the flank. Chance for Stephen Ray. He's grabbed and slung. Play on, says the umpire. Finn Waite clearing the ball now for Carlton. Racing right around the half-back line. Tries the short pass and the siren sounds, stopping play for the first quarter.
Yes, the end of the first quarter here at the MCG in the grand final between Carlton and Richmond. The scoreboard, Richmond 3 goals, 5-23. Lead Carlton 2 goals, 2-24. The quarter time scores. You're watching the grand final live from the MCG on the National 9 Sporting Network.
Last year's grand final, but then every game is a different game. Every Saturday is a different style of football, and I believe that Richmond are holding, if you want to be, searching, I'd say that they'd be holding us.
Bounce the start of the second quarter. Big Jones taps it down here, goes out towards Crane, who gets his kick to the half-forward line. Francis Burke overrun it, taken away by Robert Walls, who gets his kick, and Dick Clay a long way out from goal, takes a well-judged chest mark and kicks around centre wing the outer side looking for Walsh. Crane is there with him. They're battling hard for the ball. Crane wins the battle. On his knees, he handballs long here towards Bartlett, and away goes the Greyhound. Look at him go, sprinting around the half-forward line, kicks high, looking for Baum, who flies with Southby. No free kick to the boundary line. They're going in very hard and forced over for a throw-in.
Baum swinging the arms around pretty wildly there, and Southby had a good long look at him. Throw in now on Richmond's forward pocket, or between the half-forward flank and the pocket. Green and Jones down to Sproul. Sproul a short one. Baum just missed the mark, and Waite standing there in the back line. Short's one now out here, deep out to the flank, and they're playing through Gary Crane, who's doing well. But kick in to the body of Wayne Walsh, puts it over the boundary line for throw-in again.
Been playing only 1.5 minutes into the second quarter. Over 100,000 people here this afternoon to witness the grand final. Big Jones goes up, comes down here, and Richmond go into attack. They're looking for Royce Hart and Green, and there's a free kick or a mark being paid here, and it's Richmond's way, and it's going to Michael Green of Richmond.
You called that well, Ted. It was a free kick.
He's only some 25 metres out from goal. He's directly in front, and umpire Ian Robinson was spot on there with his interpretations of the rules, and players no doubt would be certainly disappointed from the Carlton point of view. Green moves in with the drop punt on its way. The goal umpire runs across a little bit. He's put it through for a goal to Richmond by Michael Green at the 3-minute mark in the second quarter. The big crowd and the scoreboard. Richmond now go to 4 goals, 5. Carlton 2-2.
Gee, that's a good break now, Wes.
That is a good break, that one, and once again Carlton faltering around the centre. They're not getting the tap or first use of the ball as they've been accustomed to. Jones has had a great season, but he's not producing it today, and if anything the Richmond ruck's just a bit in front.
Mike Green is probably the biggest improver here. Now Ian Robertson.
On today's game.
Yes, on today's game. Jesaulenko looks as if he'll be switched around too. There's the punch by Roberts, backhander. A chance here for Sproul. Back to Bartlett. Bartlett in trouble. Gets away. Gets it out of the pack. He's a real will-o'-the-wisp. His long kick out here finds Crane again, and Crane playing a superb game.
Oh, he's a good player, Butch, this player Crane, no doubt about him. He's a veteran and plays well on centre wing for Carlton.
Oh, not another 15-metre penalty.
I was watching that one closely, Butch, and there's no doubt they're not wanting the Carlton side to play on, and I think it's happening the other way.
He must pay them, though, surely.
Yes,
Play goes on now by Gary Crane, up to the half-forward line, looking for Walls. Francis Burke from behind, and Fowler got up high, but there's no mark. It goes down to Walsh of Carlton, slips over, pushed in the back by Bartlett, and a free kick against Bartlett. Steady down, boy. Taken here by Brian Walsh of Carlton. He's very close to centre wing on the half-forward flank on the outer side. Scoreboard in. A drop punt, falling short here, looking for the high flyers. They go up there, but there's no mark, and it's forced over the boundary line for a throw-in at the 4-minute mark into the second quarter.
Two players wanting at the moment is the young Tatoggio and the other boy, Craig Davis. A worry to Nichols. In they go. Roberts took the ball in, couldn't get a clean kick. Jezelenko has it. He's been moved to centre half forward, I feel. Has this kick right across, a chance for Craig Davis. Recovers well. Pretty badly handled there. The kid got a decent whack right under the chin as he came down, and the umpire will bounce it again. It's a stop-and-start game, but a typical tight finals performance. In goes Big Roberts again, down to Mackay. Mackay's kick is out on the full.
No outstanding individual effort so far by any player of either side.
Well, apart from Sheedy, Ted, perhaps the three goals on the board.
Yeah, fair enough, Wes. And now a free kick to be taken here by Richmond, Kevin Sheedy, from the back pocket. The football came back on that occasion, and the crowd roar their approval to see one ball at least come back from the crowd. I would imagine the police are down there. They are too. You can see them in the crowd, making sure that they are sent back when kicked over the fence. Sheedy now with the ball from the back pocket, hugging the boundary line. It'll drop short. Big Roberts is there, and they fly high, knocked away defensively. Should have been a free kick to Bartlett, not paid, and tapped over the line for another throw-in. Similar position to where that kick was taken by Sheedy several seconds ago. Number 15 is Roberts there, 43 there is Mackay of Carlton. They do battle in the air, knocked out here towards Stewart, who gets his kick, and Kevin Hall flies high and got two grabs at it, and the umpire has paid the mark for a smack in the mouth. He didn't pay the mark,
free kick.
He paid the free kick.
I was going to say, this is going to be an umpire's game the way it's going. Kevin Hall now is a beautiful kick of a football, but it's just his distance, and that's about all. He'd be a good 55 to 60 metres out. Good punt kick. It's curling in. Oh, is it through?
Yes. A nice goal kicked by Kevin Hall from the half-forward line for Carlton, and you can see the large crowd there as the scoreboard reads Richmond 4 goals 5, 29, 9 points in front of Carlton, 3 goals to 20, and we've been playing 5.5 minutes now into the second quarter. The ground hard as a rock. Conditions are still perfect, and as we said before, what either side gains the ascendancy early could easily go away to a commanding lead, and there's a free kick being paid here.
Yes, the player stepped into the triangle, and that's the first one of the day. We'll correct that in a moment. Where's the big high kick up here towards full forward? Nichols was a chance, gets a free kick. He was held on to. The umpire saw it clearly, and now Nichols has a chance to bring Carlton closer to Richmond. They're trailing by 9 points. 6.5 minutes into the second quarter, and Big John, 317 league games today, comes up and does not miss too many of these. There's his kick. Oh! It's wide, and only 1 point, 8 points the difference now, Ted.
Wes, what about that infringement?
I think, Jeff, that it was a case of against Kevin Bartlett, who was having a few words with the umpire, and a very technical one, and in fact I think the game's being over-umpired, but nevertheless, once again, correct.
Call me Ted for the rest of the day, will you? As Dick Clay will take the kick in from full-back.
8 points the difference.
Wes Lofts normally calls football of a Saturday here in Melbourne with Jeff Leake, a former Essendon star. Been working together all the year. It was a beautiful kick by Dick Clay, goes out and Mackay flew high. There's no mark. It goes down here towards Sheedy, who gets his kick. It's not a good one. I think that could have been touched though. The umpire said it's out on the full, and a free kick will be paid Carlton's way here to Gary Crane, the wingman. He's very close down on the half-forward line. He plays on now, gets the flow-on game going. Looking for Mackay. He's there, and he has marked. David Mackay on the half-forward line now, some 40 metres out from goal. A goal here to Mackay will put them well within striking distance of Richmond, who are only 8 points in front at this stage. We've been playing now 8 minutes into the second quarter. Mackay steadies. The torpedo punt kick on its way. The goal umpire likes the look of it, and so do the players. It's another one to Carlton. Kicked by David Mackay, and that's his second goal for Carlton. The scoreboard, Richmond 4 goals 5, 29 to Carlton, 4 goals 3, 27, 2 points the difference.
And Mackay is a big worry down there because Francis Burke, the player on him, a champion, but was hurt early in the first few minutes of the game and not handling Mackay very well at all.
He's a high flyer.
Now. Oh,
he's a high flyer, Mackay. This is where he put out the edge on Burke.
Too true, but he's moving around a lot, making Burke chase him. In they go, Michael Green and Jones got the tap down, but it was filched away by Sproul, who lost it. Back again it comes. There was a chance for Wood, picked up now by Francis Burke. Puts the boot right into it too, in towards deep centre half forward position. The ball rockets through. Baum has it. Hand passes to Carter. Carter at goal.
Yes. Free kick.
The umpire.
Yes.
Cleared, all clear.
All clear. Another goal to Richmond, kicked by young Carter. And the scoreboard now, Richmond 5 goals, 5 to Carlton, 4 goals, 3. Wes, you had a good look at that incident?
Yeah, well, I thought Croswell was perhaps a bit unlucky not to get a free kick on that occasion, but nevertheless, it's a goal.
For?
Well, I thought he got the backhander on the way through, Ted.
Okay, umpire Ian Robinson in a very fast game here at the MCG, the grand final, telling the trainer or the runner for Richmond to move off the ground from the centre diamond as he moves in to bounce the ball. Hard turf, and it's a high bounce. Mike Green's there with Jones, and Jones the back taps it here to the half forward line where Robert Walls comes out, grabs the ball, Howell pulled to the ground, and he said he was held too high. Oh, there's another stupid free kick given away by Wayne Walsh of hello, and there's Croswell being thrown to the deck here by Robbie McGee as umpire Ian Robinson will pay. It was Kevin Hall, not Croswell. As umpire,
30-yard penalty now.
Have a look at it, will you? That puts him well within kicking distance. He's given him 2 15-yard penalties or 15-metre penalties as Walls now, his kick is a bad one, dropping short, and nearly a mark to Dixon. He's paid it. Well, would you have paid that?
Well, I don't know. I think that this the umpire is just very obvious now that Richmond are playing more the man than the ball. And I don't mean that unfairly, but they're concentrating so much on the man that the umpire can do little else but give these free kicks. And Dixon now has a good shot at goal. That's a short one, and it's got right through for full points. And that's an interesting stage of the game at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter.
Richmond now on the scoreboard, 5 goals, 5. And Carlton, 5 goals, 3. We're back to a 2-point difference between both sides. And Richmond are the leaders. The time, 10 minutes now into the second quarter, just gone the 10-minute mark, and we're back to where we virtually started with only 2 points separating both sides. Robinson moves in, bounces, and the big ruckman move in here as Kevin Hall takes it here, can't do a thing with it, and Stewart comes in, his kick ricochets back towards Hall, and no player can pick up the ball cleanly as Robinson decides to bounce once more at centre field. The ground very hard out there, you can see it as the high bounce takes place. Jones goes in there, tries to tap it back, goes to Wood of Richmond to his right boot, down to the half-forward line. Big Roberts, but Croswell's there, and Croswell took a nice mark at centre half-back.
Croswell looking hard at Roberts too as he got a nice little whack on the way through. And Croswell's kick now deep into Wood, centre half-forward. A big pack of players. It's back to Mackay. Couldn't handle it. Wood chips in from behind, takes the ball into the centre of the ground. It'll settle down now. It's a poor kick. Young Carter gets a free. Held too high. And it's going to be a game of errors, this one. Carter now, young player. Good long kick, beautiful kick, right up here towards full forward. No mark from Roberts. Down to Sheedy. Over to Sheedy, I should say. And he scrambled it at goal. It's back in. No, it's hit the post.
Hit the bottom of the post. He was a bit stiff there, Wesloff.
No doubt about it. It's a great effort to get through on that occasion. And incidentally, it's interesting that the game hasn't settled down. It's still very tense.
That's right.
As right from the start.
Now, with the ball at full-back, Jeff Southby from Carlton, having a good look around the field to see where his ruckmen are to kick into. Torpedo punt, floating torpedo, a very long kick. Michael Green defensively knocks it away from the big fellow as Stewart moves in. The triple Brownlow medalist steady straight through the centre with a high drop punt, looking for Neil Baum. He's 2 out here. Baum in front, no mark, down to the ground. Oh, free kick to Southby, and look at him going in now. Southby is down, and so are a few others there too. I've seen that face before somewhere too. Southby getting up off the ground. Oh, he's down again. Looks like he's copped a nasty one, but the umpires are there, and Southby looks real groggy. Number 20, the fullback for Carlton, in the hands of the trainers. The umpires are there. If he can't take his kick, he must handball it to some teammate, or the umpire has no other alternative other than to bounce it. He looks like he may do this if Southby can't take the kick. No, he looks okay to take it. And he looks very, very groggy indeed.
It took a while to steady himself up there. Good, sensible approach to that. Southby's kick's a poor one, and he's still groggy. Up they go. Jones and Green down to Bartlett. Bartlett dragged to the ground. This is going to get a very, very hard game. Croswell at centre half back, thrown to the ground, but exaggerated it. And Croswell takes the kick from centre half back.
There's the kick by Croswell now up to the half forward line. Mackay from behind. There's no mark. Will he play it? He's played the mark to Robert Walls. And Walls plays on around the half forward line now. In front there was young Davis. There's a free kick to Davis.
Against play.
Too high. And I'm starting to agree with you a little bit about the interpretations from the umpire, because by gee, you can be technical, but in a final such as this, you cannot afford to be over-technical.
An umpire's got to be a secondary thing to the game.
Right,
now,
he should. In other words, he should throw the rule book away.
Umpire and common sense.
Right, now with the ball, Craig Davis for Carlton, 40 metres out from goal. Kick on its way, offline. Will it score?
Careless kick.
There's no score from that kick, and a free kick to be taken here by Richmond's Dick Clay for being kicked over the boundary line on the full.
3 points the difference.
And we've been playing now 14 minutes into the second quarter. Southby still in the hands of the trainers at the other end of the ground. We'll pick him up shortly as Francis Burke will take the kick.
There's no doubt in my mind that they're deliberately, there's Southby still being treated, deliberately keeping this game slow. Mackay hits down to Walsh. Walsh pats it in towards centre half forward. Sprinting for it there is a chance to scoop it up. Hunt, he's lost it on the way through. Contagio, good one to Crane. He gets a right foot long kick in towards full forward. It's all Richmond there. And Clay hand passes back.
Oh, it's a
and
point.
wait a minute, it is a point. Yes, he was over the line.
1 point on the scoreboard to Richmond. Now the score's Richmond 5-6 to Carlton 5 goals 4. 2 points the difference once more at the halfway mark into the second quarter. Clay takes the kick in, gets the Tigers out of trouble there momentarily as Roberts sets himself in front of the pack. There's no free kick as play goes on, and Sproul sprints away from the pack with a high kick or long kick to the half forward line.
Chance there for Byrne, but he's beaten by Young Carter. Young Carter shapes up for goal. A left foot kick. It's wild and wide again, and it's a throw in Richmond's forward pocket.
Wes Lofts, the Richmond forwards are getting a long way out from goal.
A long way out from goal, Ted, and but I think this is the problem at both ends.
No player filling up the hole though. There it is, down. A chance there for Barham, couldn't quite get it.
Oh!
Letting him out again. And another Carlton player bit the dust.
Oh.
And a bit more wrestling.
Gee whiz, I think it's a reportable one, this one, from the look of it.
Could be.
I think the umpire copped a smack in the mouth there.
Whiz.
Sheedy talking to Neil Barham now, trying to steady this down.
This could upset the Tiger camp, the Tiger players, if they continue in this pattern.
This type of umpiring will go against them now, and Vin waits to clear the ball from Carlton's back line. A good high kick, and all the little fellas there, but Royce Hart chipped in. O'Connell batted it down, and Francis Burke picks it. Rams it back hard towards Neil Barham and Southby. Barham drops it, recovers, hand passes, chance for Sheedy. Sheedy ducking and dodging. Cool as you like, and a shot at goal, but he's missed it, and one more point to the Tigers.
So another point on the scoreboard to Richmond, kicked by Kevin Sheedy, takes the scores now to Richmond. 5 goals 7, leading Carlton 5 goals 4. Only 3 points of difference at the 17-minute mark.
Royce Hart having a long chat to Ian Robertson there, the umpire, and obviously disturbed about the type of umpiring, but still, I believe it's Richmond's fault. Oh, there's an obvious push in the back. And Sproul takes the free kick for Richmond.
Right, Sproul on centre wing now for the Tigers, telling his players to move down further, to get the long kick down. It's a nice looking kick too. Up looking for Michael Green in front. There's no mark and no free kick. It's over the boundary line, and a throw in will take place.
Throw in now, Michael Green jogging back to take the throw in the forward pocket, with the big fellas lurking out on the centre wing, waiting for the relieving kick. A kick behind the play. Scrambling football here. Picked up by Jones. Smothered again. Another
free
scramble.
Kick.
Richmond's free. Who to?
In the back to Royce Hart.
Well, he won't miss this one, I wouldn't think.
Against Peter Jones.
Highly technical stuff, this stuff.
Royce Hart now only 35 metres out from goal, with Peter Jones on the mark, and the opportunity of Richmond going further ahead here if Hart can convert. He'll favour the drop punt. He does so. He pokes at it. It looks pretty good. The goal umpire said, yes, sir. And another goal to Richmond. And the Richmond supporters liking the look of that. Royce Hart there, the Richmond captain. The scores: Carlton 5 goals 4, trailing Richmond 6 goals, 7. Where's Loss?
Well, I don't think that it's favouring either side, but I've got the impression that this game is being definitely over-umpired, and it causes a lot of confusion and it can get the game out of control.
18 minutes gone now into the second quarter. Alan Gale.
This will be another long quarter. The delays with these free kicks and getting the ball back will run into 32 or 33-minute quarters for sure. Hard, tough game this. Robinson bouncing, in goes Big Jones against Roberts. Roberts collected both Jones and the ball. Down here to Dixon. Dixon again walks around, kicks it in towards centre half forward. Chance for Jezelenko, snapped away, and a chance again for a score. Scrambly play, he's going to have to bounce it again.
Bounce at centre half forward position
Walsh,
for
player I
Carlton.
couldn't get.
Umpire Ian Robinson having a good talk to the players, and the bounce takes place. Roberts is on the ball, been rather quiet for Richmond this afternoon. Knocked away by Sproul once more, but it's all Carlton. Dixon with a long handball out here to Walsh. Walsh on the half forward line, puts in a short one to Robert Walls, and he has marked.
Great mark.
In the forward pocket, the grandstand side, kicking to the scoreboard end of the MCG. There's a difference now here of, say, 30 metres from goal to Robert Walls on an angle. There's a ground level shot from the Channel 9 camera boys. Our director, Johnny Crilly, keeping you up with everything that goes on from the grand final. He pokes at it with a drop punt, but it's well offline and goes through for another point to Carlton. Carlton now go to 5 goals, 5 on the scoreboard, trailing Richmond 6 goals, 7. He poked at that, didn't he, Butch?
He didn't,
Teddy, I got a clear impression that now that Richmond hold a distinct advantage here, but after last week's game, who would hazard a guess as to who would win? Long kick in.
The doctor was going out onto the ground to see Jeff Southby. I'm sure about this. We'll pick him up a little later for you as Peter Jones takes the ball now. Kicks it back looking for John Nichols, who flies from behind, and he's paid the mark. No, play on. Taken away here by Davis, and it's dribbled through for 1 point.
They're missing the easy ones.
The doctor is out on the ground now, walking over with the trainer to have a look at Jeff Southby, who could easily be suffering from a little bit of concussion. Scores 6-7 Richmond to Carlton, 5 goals, 6.
Yes, it's 7 points the difference now. Dick Clay kicking in, and it looked like a bit of blood on Southby's ear. He got a real whack. There's a nice mark, and a hand pass from Greaves. Out to Walsh. Walsh from the half-back line. A long searching kick. A chance there. Nicely punched down by Burns. Snapped up by Dool. Dool's kick into the centre of the ground finds Mackay easy, and Carlton steadying down now. Mackay's kick is long and deep out to the flank. Jezelenko from behind. Smothered. Looking for Kevin Hall. Shepherding well for Kevin Hall, and he has a shot.
By Kevin Hall for Carlton, both in this quarter. Richmond 6-7, 43 to Carlton 6-6, 42. Jeff Southby in the hands of the doctor at the other end of the ground with the trainer, and the doctor looks a little concerned with Jeff Southby, trying to explain to him that if he is concussed, he should not stay on the ground. I think the doctor wants to take him off. Jeff Southby with the doctor there, and it doesn't look good. He's walking away, the doctor, as the play goes on. The bounce, and they go up high. Roberts taps it down here towards Wood of Richmond. His kick ricochets off O'Connell of Carlton, and Cottagio moves in. A long handball finds O'Connell again. He's a high kick to the half-forward line. Defensive football by Richmond, and the umpire has found a free kick here Richmond's way. Butch?
Yes, a definite infringement there. And the kick to be taken by Fowler, the back pocket player. Places it neatly out towards centre wing. A chance for Crane. Oh, there was a Nellier mark there, Carlton mark, and he's paid it more for interference than anything to Croswell. Croswell had a decent shove in the back there, and now Croswell plays on. Stop and start football. The umpire is pulling it back for a 15-metre penalty again, and he'll create a world's record with his
This is again on Kevin
again.
Sheedy, Butch. He's using his nut probably because he's holding the play up again. He's prepared to give away this 15 metres to stop that play on game far.
Jeff Southby taking smelling salts from the doctor and trainer, trying to revive his thoughts in a game whereby he doesn't want to leave the field, and the kick taken here now by Carlton up to the forward line, and a mark to David Mackay. He did it easy there, and he's only 25 metres out from goal.
Richmond starting to lose their concentration now, and Carlton moving in, only 1 point the difference. Mackay has this shot. He's kicked a couple, hasn't he?
2 goals.
Two goals already.
23-minute mark of the second quarter.
Here he comes, Mackay. Oh, it doesn't look good. A poor kick, in fact. It's out of bounds. On the full, and Dick Clay will kick this ball in for Richmond.
A shocking miss there by Mackay
Hunt
of
to take the kick in.
Carlton. Now Rex Hunt will take the kick in from the last line of defence. He's a left footer, brings it around the grandstand side, looking for Roberts. Should be a free kick against Roberts here, but not seen by the umpire. Mackay has the ball, breaks clear, but Francis Burke, a good player, takes it away, and this fellow's not fit. I'm sure of this as he has one bounce again, and rather than kick, he handballs over towards Ray. Ray back to Carter. There's a passage of play. His kicker's going to drop short here, but it's all Carlton, and marked there by Pennell, who plays on close to the boundary line. They fly high and a good mark to Wood of Richmond.
Now Wood plays on, looking for it. That was a bit better play then. Kick in towards Barham and South B, but an easy mark there taken by young Byrne.
What are they doing?
Right from behind the pack. There was
standing there watching them.
That's true, but Barham and South B a little bit concerned about that incident and not playing confident football. Out here towards centre wing. Crane taps it back. Snapped up by Stewart. Tackled by O'Connell. O'Connell moves in hard. Chance for Wayne Walsh. Wayne Walsh hard up against the boundary line. Working around to that left foot. Kicks in deep. Chance for Big Jones. Smashing the pack down. And they're down onto the ground again, and a Richmond player hurt this time. I wouldn't like to be out there, believe me. Pennell pushes the ball over the boundary line. It's Stewart that was down there.
Could have been a free kick Richmond's way there on the boundary line. Wes, did you see that?
No, I missed that one too.
Okay, the throw in from the boundary line again as Roberts goes up with Jones. It's tapped down here, out towards Sproul, or Sheedy, and a free kick against Sheedy here, and it's going Carlton's way to Gary Crane on centre wing, the outer side of the MCG.
24 minutes gone.
Play kick now by Crane up to the half forward line, looking for Robert Walls, who dummies back, takes the mark and plays on. Well played, Robert Walls. Up to the forward area now. Dick Clay doing battle with Davis. Coming out hard was Hunt, and Mackay's in there as well. All players go in as Big Nick has a long handball here, goes into open territory, taken away by Carter. This player's got some pace, puts in a short one looking for Stephen Ray of Richmond. Close to the boundary line, chased here by Croswell. Now Ray with the ball. Oh, free kick. Free kick to Ray of Richmond.
And he's right wide on the centre wing.
The free kick was for being held whilst not in possession.
An obvious one too, Ted, and a lot of this has gone on for the whole of this match. 25 minutes gone now. Stephen Ray's kick right in towards the full forward area. Up they go. No chance of a mark. Chance for Sheedy. Pats it down to Southby. Southby loses it. Barham tries to scoop it up. Hand passes it out to Bartlett. Bartlett hit.
Free kick to Bartlett. Free kick. Where's Loft? Did you pick that one up?
Oh, well, it was an obvious one, Ted, wasn't it? And just another sign of over-anxiousness. It's just not good thinking in grand finals to try and even up.
Butcher, I was sorry to interrupt your call there, but I thought you didn't see the incident. And a definite free kick to Kevin Bartlett for being hit around the neck area.
This will be known as the grand final of free kicks for sure, but they're there.
Ronnie Wilson, how many free kicks so far? We've gone past the 47 free kicks so far in
Just
the
into
first
time
half.
on.
Yes, we've moved into time on now as Bartlett moves in now, only 2 metres out from goal, and made no mistake about it. Another goal to Richmond, and the scoreboard now reads Richmond 7 goals 7, leading Carlton 6 goals 6. That goal was kicked by Kevin Bartlett, the vice-captain of the Richmond Football Club, a match winner for the Tigers last week here against Collingwood.
Very hot day out there now, Ted, and you can see that players are feeling the pinch of this heat and the tense atmosphere that's been played under.
The fittest side, Butch, you think?
Oh, it's gotta be. Gotta be, Ted. This will be the survival of the fittest in more ways than one. It could develop into a real brawl here. In they go. Chance for Mike Green. Pats it down. Oh, Sproul unloaded by Croswell. Out to Sheedy. Sheedy tackled by Croswell again. A good hand pass. Finds Walsh. Walsh got enough time to steady, but puts it up high into the pocket. Here's Baum. And Hart in front. A great mark, and he's on his left foot and be 30 metres out trying to cheat a fair bit of distance too, which he's done. He's pulled at least 5 yards. The umpire moving in to correct the situation now. Dool demanding the umpire to push hard around, but he still should kick it, Ted. What do you think?
2 Carlton players, or young Davis in the first quarter, missed 2 easy shots from this distance. Let's see what experience will do as Hart shoots it. Goal! And there's experience for you. He's made no mistake. And that's the second goal kicked by the Tiger captain, Royce Hart. Richmond on the scoreboard now. Go to a nice lead, 8 goals 7, 55 to Carlton, 6 goals, 6-42.
And that's the biggest break in the game, and I mean not so much the score, but the biggest break.
Jeff Southby too showed signs then of the knock, because he just wasn't able to get through, and he normally does.
27 minutes gone now into the second quarter. The ball back at centre field with umpire Robinson. Can Richmond go away at this particular stage, or can Carlton come back? The bounce. Green in front, knocked away, goes towards Walsh, but he missed it. Over to Green, puts in a short one, and taken here by Ray. Ray goes to have a handball, he's in trouble. Handballs to Hart. Hart's in trouble, he'll be tackled. He shoots a goal.
Hooked it.
And goes through for 1 point only to Richmond.
You're talking about the voice of experience. He had no idea just how far he was out, took the extra step, got out of balance, and hooked it naturally. Now Southby still looking groggy. Police out in the ground now, time getting on towards the siren, 28 minutes gone. There's Big Jones, punched away by Mike Green again, doing a very sound job. Little Carter moves in, loses the ball, picked up again, here by Hart, over his head, and a mark to Pennell of Carlton.
Yes, a good mark there to Pennell of Carlton, and umpire Robinson moving in to make sure that there's no other troubles that can develop, as Pennell plays on now from the half-back line to the half-forward line, looking for Mackay. Off free kick should have been to Green, but not paid. And now Jesselenko moves in with the ball in front, chased here by Kane. They both slip over. Jesselenko handballs this time back to Walls, who puts in a short one. Francis Burker's there. Always plays well in defence and puts in a short kick. Finds Robert McGee of Richmond.
Robert McGee is on the half-back flank now, and Richmond defending strongly. 8-8 to 6-6. Good lead to Richmond at this stage. Time on into the second quarter. Pennell punches, hits it out hard over the top of Hart, and finds the boundary line. Another throw in on centre wing. 28 minutes gone now into the second quarter. Richmond 8 goals, 8-56. Carlton 6 goals, 6-42. The throw in, they fly high. Green got the big tap down. It goes to Pennell. He's in trouble. Gives it out the Duel of Carlton. His kick is a bad one and knocked away here by Kane. Goes out to Ray. Ray handballs back to Hart. In trouble. Handballs out in front of him. Falls on top of the ball, and umpire Robinson moves in and allows play to go on, but he's found the free kick. A free kick against Croswell, wasn't it? Yes, an obvious one, and this is the trouble. Temperamental could win this, and both of them have got hot heads.
We'll talk to Wes Luffs about this player very shortly as the kick is taken here, and Richmond go forward up looking for Roberts, but it's over the pack's head. No car, Richmond player there as Croswell relieves for the Blues out towards Wood. It's Wood and Dixon has the ball now, nowhere to go. Tackle, but gets his left boot to the ball out towards Walsh. The bounce is a bad one, and Francis sprints in. A long kick at goal. There's nobody there but Barb. Barb onto his left boot. Oh! Goal kicked by Neil Baum of Richmond, and Richmond go further ahead at the 30-minute mark. The scores: Richmond 9 goals, 8 to Carlton, 6 goals, 6. Wes Luffs, a former Carlton player. What about Croswell's temperament in a grand final?
Well, this is just not on, and Croswell perhaps is more known as a forward, although he has played all year in the defence, but a lot of lack in concentration on the part of the Carlton defence in this quarter.
And Southby's sick, and that's what caused that goal. He could not concentrate. The bounce, he is dead. I've never seen him play like that. There's the ball out towards the centre half-back position, snapped up by Robert McGee, getting round onto his natural left foot, trying a long one, but Dool in front, dropped it, and a kick off the ground by Vernon, an obvious free kick, an automatic free kick comes under unduly rough play, and any risk to a player when kicking off the ground. There's Stewart's kick out towards the forward pocket, good play, allows Byrne, is it? Yes, to take the mark. Good solid play.
Wasn't good play by Ian Stewart.
No.
The kick now by Byrne from the last line of the fence goes around. Mike Green sets himself and takes a mark on the half-forward line, very close to the centre wing position. And Green is a natural left footer, will settle down and get on with the game. Kicks either foot, this boy. This time he tries his right foot.
Well,
as he goes very high.
They go, the big fellas. Big Roberts in front. He's marked.
Southby's gone.
I don't mean to sort of qualify my own opinion, but it's obvious that Southby is not right.
I did say before that Green was a natural left footer. I'll keep mixing him up with Rex Hunt.
Yes, they're Roberts now. A lot depends on this, because this will be a huge break if he can score 4 points. Roberts taking a lot of time, in fact too much time. 20 points in front, Richmond.
Roberts has had 3 kicks for the game.
32 minutes into the second quarter, up comes Roberts. Kick, and he's...
Yes! Another one to the Tigers, kicked by the Whale, the Giant. A And look at the Richmond supporters down there in the crowd. Ecstatic here with excitement because of the Tigers' breakaway in this second quarter. The scoreboard, Richmond 10 goals, 8, 62, 20 points in front now of Carlton. 6 goals, 6, 42, I'm sorry. 10, 8, 68 to Carlton, 6, 6, 42. 26 points the difference in favour of Richmond. Wes, that's a good breakaway.
Oh, that's a tremendous break, especially in the second quarter. It's the first real break that's been had in the game, and it's going to take a lot of getting back.
32 and a half minutes gone now in the second quarter.
Sorry. The siren about the sound and the umpire about to bounce. It'll go 33 of 34 minutes, I reckon, this quarter. In goes Mike Green again, rucking very well. Croswell missed the flight of the ball. Jones comes through hard. Back to Croswell. Croswell's hand pass finds Crane. Crane's kick is high towards centre half foot. And Mackay from behind. They both missed time to Jesselenko, has it? Jesselenko, a hand pass here out towards Dixon. Dixon's long shot at goal. It could be. And another goal puts Carlton right back in.
So that's the second goal kicked by David Dixon of Carlton, the big crowd there. And we see a 20-point deficit now to be made up by Carlton if they're to get back in the game. 10-8 to 7-6 in favour of the Tigers, and we've been playing now 33 minutes into the second quarter. And by gee, what a long quarter. Of course, we had a couple of blues early in this quarter. Southby went down and a couple of Richmond players went down, and naturally enough that does take time, but it's an extremely long quarter. Jeff Southby looking around, probably concussed a little from that knock. The bounce is not a good one, goes towards Sheedy, knocked away there. The players lost a run of the ball, picked up by Walls. His hook foot kick wasn't any distance in it at all. Back to Green and Bartlett quiet in that quarter.
Beautiful.
Gets out of trouble, lovely. A high kick here as Royce Hart comes out, sets himself, flies, and there's no mark. It goes down to Ray, who puts a short one in. Roberts is there, and Roberts has marked for Richmond. And he's some 40 metres out from goal in front of Finn Waite.
And trying to kid for the 15-metre penalty. He would be, I think it's just beyond him, this distance. It'll need to be a very good kick. He's in good positions, slightly off centre. And big Brian Roberts, 1 goal already on the board. And I doubt whether he'd make this distance. The siren is right on at half-time. If he can, it'll be a valuable goal. Up comes Roberts now. He takes his time.
Terrible run up. Oh, you can see it coming.
Down to Green. Green plays on. Right across that half-forward line. Hooking it back in towards the goal square. Big pack flies.
Free kick.
Richmond mark is
free kick to Ian Stewart. Definite free kick around the neck, which umpire Robinson was only standing 10 metres away. He saw it as the siren sounds to end the second quarter, but Ian Stewart must take his kick, and if he puts this one through, it certainly will be a great lead to Richmond. He's only some 20 metres out from goal, directly in front. He will favour the drop punt. You can see from his stance, his concentration is tremendous as he waits to move in to kick this ball. Moves in, on its way, a drop punt. It looks pretty good. He's popped it through, and he's limping Ian Stewart, limping after that knock. And the scoreboard now at the end of the first half sees Richmond go to a score of 11 goals, 8, 74, leading Carlton 7 goals, 6, 48. Well, Wes, go on from the Carlton's point of view and give us your impression of the first half.
Well, I think the first half obviously hasn't been a good one for Carlton, especially that quarter. At one stage they got back, I thought Richmond overplaying the man and perhaps let Carlton back in, and they lost concentration, but then the Carlton defence split right open at the finish there, with Southby looking very groggy on his feet. Finn Waite perhaps coming for a couple of times from behind on those occasions, and of course a couple of free kicks given away in front of goal. You can't afford to try and square off in grand finals. It's got to be percentage football, get on with the game and forget the knocks.
What about Carlton now at half-time, Wes? What do you think will be going through the Brains Trust's minds at the all-important third quarter?
Well, he's done about everything that he should do, John Nick.
Well, Well, this is Ted Whitten from the MCG for the second half of the big grand final for season 1973 for viewers. TCN 9 Sydney, NWS 9 South Australia, QTQ 9 in Brisbane, and NB3, NBN 3 Newcastle, with my co-commentators Butch Gale and Wes Luffs. The start of the third quarter with Richmond 11 goals, 8-74. Carlton 7-6-48, and a free kick here to Richmond, and it's going to Kevin Bartlett. Butch picked that one up.
Yes, Walsh caught in possession and Bartlett gets the free.
Right, Bartlett now from the half forward flank puts the Tigers into attack immediately up to the forward line. Big Roberts is there, there's no mark. Play on is the call. Rod trying to get through there was Barn, but there's no free kick. The ball back to him. Peter Jones is there, and out of the pack went Walsh of Carlton. Put the ball up as Roberts handballs over here. Taken away by Jezelenko, who's been rather quiet, but now in the thick of things as he gets his kick down to the half forward line. Francis Burke flies, knocked to the ground, coming out hard now. We find Wayne Walsh of Richmond, 2 bounces.
And a good long kick by Wayne Walsh, right into the forward line. Green dropped the mark, down it came to Kevin Hall, and a wild kick and a free kick, obvious free kick, that will be no score, will go to Kevin Hall, the new full-back for Carlton in this second half.
Stewart carrying a leg too, obviously now, as you can see just in front of the goal square as he walking across, favouring the leg.
Now the short pass, a neat short pass out here to Byrne. He's got the whole of this back line in front of him. One bounce, goes for the kick. Good, sensible play, but the kick's poor. And Robert McGee stepped in and marked in front of Robert Wolf.
That's centre half back Robert McGee now with the ball. Holds up a forward thrust by Carlton and puts the Tigers back into attack. Jones from behind, but it should be a mark. No, the umpire has called play on. Taken away there by Chandler onto his left boot. Down here and a good mark to Davis. Away from full forward. Shorts one to Jezelenko. That's the game. Carlton into attack once more. Down here towards John Nichols. Nichols with the ball. Tackle here by Hunt. And coming through hard as wood off Richmond.
And a scrambly bit of play now. He'll have to bounce this. No, a break. Kane gets it. Clears the ball. Defending well, this kid. Out deep to the flank and another nice mark taken by Stephen Ray of Richmond. Ray goes to play around. Borks comes back on the other foot. In the shadow there now and hooks it right back into the forward line. Chance for Roberts. Couldn't get to it. Kevin Hall hits down. And a break. Hart. Royce Hart. Hand passes out to Mike Green. Mike Green steps it up. He's tackled by Jezelenko. Pushes it back. No. Play on. Sheedy has it. Deep on the flank. Working round into goal. And this back line of Carlton's pretty loose. Baum dropped the ball. Down to Peter Jones. Tackled by Baum. Jones is clearing kick. Will go out on the full, and a shocking mistake by Peter Jones, and that's a serious one out there because Walsh will take the kick as a good long kick.
Walsh now from the half forward line puts the kick well up into the 10-yard square, looking for Michael Green and Roberts. They fly high. There's no mark. The umpire's called play on, and now he's blown the whistle, and this time he's going to award a free kick, I think, to a Richmond player. He is too, and it's going to Royce Hart. The captain of Richmond takes a free kick at the edge of the 10-yard square. Where's did you see that?
Yes, well, I think it was Vinnie Waite, a little bit too vigorous on that occasion underneath the pack, and there have been far too many of these free kicks given away in front of goal from Carlton's point of view.
Royce Hart now, right in front of goal. Moves in, shoots at goal, it looks good, it's through, phenomenal. And that's 3 goals kicked by the Richmond captain, and a great start in the third quarter for the Tigers. The scoreboard now, Richmond 12 goals, 8-80, leading Carlton 7 goals, 6-48.
Most important goal of the game. Royce Hart there being congratulated by Michael Green, and obviously that's a good sound break. 12-8 to 7-6. That's 32-point lead.
And 4 minutes into the third quarter have been played as umpire Robinson moves in to bounce the ball again at centre field.
In comes umpire Ian Robinson, prepared to let this go a little bit, I would feel. A big high bounce, that ground's hard as a rock. Down it comes, a chance for clearance, scrambly play. Big Roberts has it, turns around, gets a right foot kick deep out on the flank. Chance for Stewart, who's out in the flank, he's crooked too. And the ball cleared well on the centre wing. Another mark to Fowler. His hand pass finds Sproul. Sproul, a long kick, and Richmond going for long kicks now. Up into the forward line, chance there. Down onto the ground. Baum stepped it over. Another hand pass to Stewart. Stewart puts it through.
Yes! Another goal to Richmond. And that's the second goal kicked by Ian Stewart. And he has a sore leg. There's no doubt about that. The scoreboard now reads Richmond here at the MCG, 13 goals, 8, 86. Leading Carlton, 7 goals, 6,
right.
48. What a tremendous breakaway at the start of the third quarter, Wes Lofts.
Well, it is a very serious breakaway from Carlton's point of view, because if they were going to get back in the game, they were the ones that had to come back with a quick couple of goals. Full credit to Richmond. They're going in hard now for the ball, and they're showing on the ball.
Umpire Robinson bounces the ball at centre field, and Jones goes in with Roberts of Richmond. Jones tries to bring it down. I think the umpire's found a free kick
against Jones. And Roberts
Jones.
is down.
Big Roberts is down there on the ground and gets up. He looks to have an arm injury. Let's try and pick it up. He takes the ball now, and he's screaming a few instructions around there to a few of his opponents, as the big whale from centre field puts Richmond into attack with a shocking kick. Sheedy moves in there in front of Dool, can't handle the ball cleanly, and a free kick here to Richmond, and it will be played once more to Kevin Sheedy at centre half forward. He's a good 65 metres from goal. Couldn't kick it, I don't think, but still, he certainly will put it on the edge of the square.
And Carlton playing very hard football now. Sheedy's kick, it's a good one, it'll drop short. Chance here for Big Jones in the middle of the pack, couldn't hold it. Clearance nicely by Burns, out here towards the flank. Wood comes in, trapped the ball, but couldn't quite keep it in play. It's a throw in now, Richmond's forward pocket.
And we've been playing 6 minutes into the third quarter. In the forward pocket, the boundary umpire prepares to throw in the grandstand side. The members' side. There's a throw in. Up goes Big Green with Jones. It goes to the ground. Nobody can handle it cleanly. Should be a free kick Carlton's way here. But the umpire said no, he didn't try to get rid of the ball, Chandler. And he's playing a free kick here to Kevin Bartlett of Richmond. Pennell of Carlton not too happy with that decision. And we have here from Ronnie Wilson, our statistician, free kicks. Richmond 44 to Carlton 21. Bartlett now with the ball, some 20 metres out from goal. On an angle. Moves in. Oh, it's a shocking looking kick floating away from goal. There'll be no score from this kick, and I didn't like his approach to kick the ball.
No, in fact, I do feel, Ted, that being such a hard day, they're feeling the pinch players.
Where's Lofts?
Gary Crane being brought onto the ball now, and Katoggio taken away from the roving role.
There's the short one by Kevin Hall, a risky one, finds Dool, but a good solid punch away there by Baum. Dool plays on now, right from that half-back flank. Out towards centre wing. Jezelenko racing for it, but it's over the line. Throw in on centre wing.
On the outer side of the ground, Jezelenko been rather quiet now, trying to get into the thick of things as Mackay number 43 and Roberts number 15 do battle for the ball. Should be a free kick Roberts' way. It is. I don't think he likes the treatment that he's getting out there, the big whale. He handballs here, probably further than he can kick it anyway, and picked up here by Francis Burke. He wouldn't like that, the big whale, but he's a good sport, and a high kick up to the forward line, looking for a free kick, but there's none to Richmond. The umpire gives one here to Carlton. Free kick going Carlton's way here, and it looks like it'll be taken by Walsh of Carlton. On the half-back flank, very close to it. No, it's going over to Peter Jones, number 28, will take the free kick. From centre half back virtually, he'll take the kick now and put Carlton out of trouble once more and try to get them into attack. A short one here, looking for Gary Crane, but chipping in there was Wayne Walsh. Couldn't hold the mark, but gathers in the ball, and a high kick up to the forward line. Looking for Ian Stewart and big Mike Green. Knocked to the ground there. Moving in now is Pennell of Carlton.
Pennell breaking right across that back line, puts it right out deep to Gary Crane. Chased by Big Roberts, but he'll leave him for dead. Balks around him, and Crane now has the whole field in front of him. Balks again. Beautiful play. Right deep into towards centre half forward. Up went Francis Burke. Punched it down over the top of Walsh. Oh, hard crossball. Burke out to Clay. Clay clears the ball. Richmond steady in the crisis. Out towards Pennell. Pennell keeps the ball in front. Right foot kicking towards centre half forward. Up goes Jezelenko. Taps it down. Takes it. Plays on. A good high kick. A long one into Big Nichols. And Hunter Nichols drops the mark. Scoops it up. Did he say play on?
Well done.
But it's through for a point.
Well played by a young fella there who forced the ball through for 1 point. Where's Lofts?
Nichols caught back a little bit by his own trap on that occasion, I think, and he got caught underneath it. Perhaps he should have let himself go early, but a good effort to get it up and a good part on the Richmond defence.
13 goals, 8 Richmond to Carlton, 7 goals, 7 at the 9-minute mark into the third quarter, and a kick in by Dick Clay of Richmond puts it out where Jezelenko takes what possibly would be his first mark for the match. He's on the half-forward flank, or virtually centre half forward, for Carlton. Drives them forward now with a long torpedo punt kick up there looking for Big Nichols and Hunt. Nichols no mark, to the ground they go. Oh, and are they going in hard now? Green gets a short one out to Sheedy. Sheedy runs around an opponent and gets his kick eventually out to centre wing.
And up they go, another Richmond mark, and played on nicely to Wood. Stephen Ray played on nicely. Stewart dropped it down to Baum. Baum had a chance to give it to Carter. Went round on his left foot, hooked it back into the pocket, and it'll go over the line. a boundary throw-in.
What a wonderful opportunity to Big Roberts at centre half forward on his own. And an easy left foot pass could have found Roberts there for another goal to Richmond. It's out of bounds in the forward pocket, right alongside the behind post. There's the throw-in now. Going up high as Mackay in front there of Baum, and taken away here by Byrne of, Walsh of Richmond Carlton, and goes to Francis Burke. Handballs over towards Wood. Wood in the shadows of the grandstand. A long kick to the forward line where Baum waits for it. Flies, no mark. Down to Roberts, who snaps a goal for the Tigers. Well, you wouldn't believe it. The big whale, that's the second goal he's kicked in the match so far, and the scoreboard now reads Richmond 13 goals 9 to Carlton 7 goals 7, and 10 and a half minutes now into the third
Wait
quarter.
a minute, hang on.
And the umpire hasn't played it. He's played it a point. It must have been touch, Butch.
It had to be, Ted. No, I would have given that a goal. We looked away from there, but
well, the
it's
scoreboard's changed too.
8 point, 13-9 to 7-7. The kick in by Kevin Hall, a good one. Chance for Mike Green over the top of Jones. A Richmond player held there. No free kick out to Dixon. Dixon on the half-back line looks around for a kick out to Chandler. Chandler sprints through, dropped the mark and let the ball over the line. A boundary throw in on centre wing. Carlton making too many errors and looking for the player now instead of the ball. Mike Green moves in front of Mackay, taps it back nicely. Chance for Francis Burke, scoops it in, puts it in hard towards centre half forward again. Up they go, punched away. Down onto the ground, Jones loses the kick. A chance for Dool. Dool in trouble now, and Richmond playing this game solidly. Out towards Mackay. Mackay lost it. And the kick goes in towards the forward pocket. Now Bartlett in front, tackled solidly. Scoop back there. And it's Bartlett again, taking the ball up. Still in play, smothered kick. Bartlett tries to pick up again. It's very scrambly. And Bartlett, and he's got some courage. In towards Wood. Wood in good position, dropped the mark. And here they go again for a scrambly football. Umpire Ian Robertson has said he dropped the ball. Walsh gets the free for Carlton.
And there's the kick now by Walsh around to the half-forward line, looking here for Katoggio. He couldn't mark it. He recovers though. Picks it up. It's Davis, not Katoggio. And Davis onto his left boot. Kicks it down to the forward area, but Fowler's there. And Fowler takes a very well-judged chest mark in defence for Richmond. 12 minutes gone in the third, and there's a short one looking for Sproul, and Sproul's marked on his chest, and it could be a penalty here. Could be a penalty as Sproul plays on, right up to the centre half forward, looking for Royce Hart in front, but there's no mark. Play on as the call. Oh, they're overrunning the ball as Ian Stewart moves in. Tries to pick it up, can't do so, and a short kick finds Dool. Dool handballs to Peter Jones. Jones this time goes back to O'Connell. O'Connell with one bounce, two bounces, straight through the centre. A short one looking for Croswell, and Croswell's mark with Dick Clay on the mark. He plays on, short one this time to Dixon of Carlton on the half forward flank, and Dixon with Gathers in the ball, looks around, kicks it high, waiting for Big Nick to fly. He does so, but it's over his head and kicked in for a point by Davis of Carlton. 1 point on the scoreboard to Carlton. The scoreboard now reads Richmond 13 goals 9, leading Carlton 7 goals 8 at the 13-minute mark into the third.
And a 37-point advantage now. 13 minutes, as Ted has just told you. Clay now about to kick in for Richmond. They've got a very strong hold on this 73 Grand Final. And Clay taking his time now. Carlton at last got their pattern of hand passing going there, and don't write this game off because anything can happen with these two sides. There's Quirk on the ground too. Loses it. Gary Crane out to Pennell. Pennell gets the kick in hard towards Nichols. Up they go. There was a chance for Chandler. Nichols backed up by Croswell. Croswell snaps over his head. He's hooked it wide and wild. Walsh and Fowler. And I think Crane's down and being looked at by trainers.
Where's Loss?
Quirk on the ground, Katoggio off, which is a good move, but now a Carlton player in trouble in the centre.
Okay, so Robbie McGee has marked on the half-back line for Richmond. He plays on this time, gives it over here to Kane, and they go forward again, Richmond, looking for Ian Stewart. Ian Stewart tries to mark, can't do so. Gathers in the ball. Oh, free kick. No, the umpire's not paying it. Dual handballs to the boundary line here. Bartlett keeps it in play. I don't think that was out, was it? Wes, did you see that?
Well, it looked very close one way or the other, but we'll give the nod to the boundary umpire. He was closest.
The player in trouble is Pennell in the hands of the trainers, and he looks to be in a bit of pain there as a throw-in takes place. Knocked to the ground to Mackay. He was tackled very hard. Robert Walls first to the ball, gathers it in. No free kick, and it's all Richmond now. On the bottom of the pack there is Sheedy, and the umpire moves in to bounce once more.
It's on the centre wing on the members' side of the MCG. Shadows starting to come across the ground. It's been a perfect day, but a hard day for all players. Hot. And there's Crane in there again, being tackled, and he gets out of it again. Gee, has he got some courage, this boy. A long one into John Nichols. And down it comes. It's snapped up by Chandler into an open goal. Yes, that's the goal to Carlton at last. That's what they need.
Kick by Chandler. That was a badly needed goal by the Carlton side. As the big crowd, you can see at the MCG, enjoying the football and the sunshine. The scoreboard, Richmond 13-9 to Carlton, 8 goals, 8. Pennell still in the hands of the Ch9's.
Well, it looks as if it could be a cramp, but what a bad time for this to happen with Carlton, with their 2 reserves on the ground now. 15 minutes of play gone in the third quarter.
And playing with 17 men, with Pennell down on the ground.
Umpire Ian Robinson at centre field moves in to bounce the ball once more. Carlton, can they get back into the game? The bounce. Big Roberts comes in with Mackay. He wins the tap down. Mackay taken away by Jesselenko. Jesselenko with a blind turn onto his left boot, looking for Robert Laws, but McGee steps in front, and McGee takes a nice mark in defence. And Pennell has a tourniquet around his knee there, trying to kick the cartilage. Sure. There's the kick by McGee around the grandstand side. They fly, and a good mark to Roberts. Handballs to Bartlett. Richmond into attack again through Bartlett. It's Big Barm and Mike Green. They fly. There's no mark. Down to Stewart. Steadies onto his left boot. And the third goal kicked by Ian Stewart for the Tigers. The scoreboard now. Richmond on the scoreboard here at the MCG have kicked 14-9 to Carlton, 8 goals, 8.
That's a 6-goal, 1 lead, and Pennell obviously cartilage the way they've been looking at him, and it looks as if the cartilage is out the way they're working on him.
Well, I reckon
and that could be real trouble, Wes.
Should have the doctor at least on the ground, Butch. They've got a couple of trainers playing, but it could be just cramp.
Oh, I don't know, not the way they were looking at him. The ball back to the centre now. Umpire Robinson looking around very carefully. Fowler well up with the rover. Pennell stamping the foot. It could only be cramp, but still, he's down. In they go. Roberts, Jones flipped it out, but not quite clear enough. Mackay went in hard. Bartlett has it now. Onto the left.
Oh,
he
up the ground.
And Bartlett badly handled, and the free kick will go to Royce Hart up here. Should go to Royce Hart. The umpire went back to issue a warning, and Carlton falling for the 3-card trick here. Nichols on the ball for Carlton, chasing right up to Ian Robertson.
No good talking to the umpire, Nick.
That's for sure. Now the kick to be taken out there by
Carter.
Carter's deep kick in towards the goal square. Up they go. Punch down hard. A good hand pass out to Sheedy. Sheedy hit solidly by Waite. Is there another free kick in that? No. Yes, there could be behind play, but Plowdessi's pulled it up again. And it's against Carlton.
Let's go. Free kick going against Ben Waite.
Ben Waite, Ted, he's an experienced player, and how many times this has happened today? He's cost Carlton at least 4 or 5 goals in front of goal.
Well, I know he's a very good friend of yours, Wes, and for you to criticise him the way you are, but it's fair criticism. It's constructive because it certainly is doing damage to the Carlton side. Now, we have taking the kick. Kevin Sheedy, who's already kicked 3 goals for Richmond. He's only some 3 metres out from goal, but on a very acute angle. He steadies. Oh, it's a shocking miss here. There's no score from 3 metres out. Now, that's a very costly miss by Richmond.
Yes, another one there, Ted. You could nearly say shut the gate. There's Kevin Hall. No, gives it over. And the kick in to be taken by Gary Crane. Now, that's a bit unusual. They need him up the field. Gary Crane's kick in towards Big Peter Jones, tapped down by Roberts, cleared nicely by Chandler. Up here where Rex Hunt takes a good solid mark for Richmond. Richmond in full control here at this stage. We're just on 19 minutes into the third quarter. Rex Hunt's kicking towards centre half forward. Big pack flies, no mark. Chance for Ray. Scrambly football. Chandler in there, kicks it out. Bartlett takes the mark.
Bartlett at centre half forward now for Richmond has the mark. Can he put another one on the board? By gee, he's not a very good looking fella, is he, Kevin Bartlett, but he's a great footballer. The socks roll down. He kicks on its way, will drop short, they'll fly. Hart's there, and Hart has marked. Royce Hart, a tremendous strong mark there for Richmond, and he's only 6 metres out from goal. On an angle, he is a natural left footer. This boy will favour the drop punt. The umpire sending him right around on an angle to make sure he kicks right over the man on the mark. And as Butch Gale said before, a goal here would certainly make it difficult for the Blues to get up, as if the job isn't difficult now. The kick by Hart's a bad one, and he's missed it. By gee, they're taking it easy now, Richmond in front of goal.
Let out for Carlton there. Another goal would have been most embarrassing. Nichols has gone onto the ball, talking to Bruce Dool and a number of other players. Kevin Hall, getting the ball is Nichols. Had a lot to say to his players out there. They're not playing well, Carlton.
At the 20-minute mark, Richmond 14 goals, 10.94. Carlton 8 goals, 8.56.
Kevin Hall's kick. Good even one, dropping a fraction short. Flying high, there was a chance for Hart, but couldn't quite make it. Bartlett again getting that long punch away. And look at him sprint. A left foot shot in towards the pocket. Chance for Baum. Kevin Hall down to Sheedy. Sheedy tries to crash through the pack. Beaten. White clears. For Carlton, kicking right into the centre of the ground. And here's a break at last. A good mark to Mackay.
Mackay at centre field now. Shorts one here, but Richmond player Francis Burke comes in and takes a well-judged chest mark. Francis Burke at centre half back for Richmond. Stopped that forward thrust by the Blues and puts them back into attack, and there go the Tigers once more around the half forward flank, looking for Sheedy and Hart's there, but there's no mark. Play on us, the call. The umpires held it up, and a free kick is being paid to Royce Hart. Where's the right? Royce Hart now on the half forward line for Richmond takes the free kick and will put the Tigers right down to the 10-yard square once more. He goes for a short one here, looking and found young Carter, and there should be a 15-metre penalty. And it's been played okay. Umpire Ian Robertson, no hesitation in playing that penalty against Carlton.
It was the most useless action that could have been done at that time, because the kid was going to get the mark, couldn't have played on, and the free kick now gives him an opportunity of scoring. He's now within 35 metres of the goal on a very slight angle.
They've missed two easy ones in the last 5 minutes.
Let's see now. Carter's kick, it's gone wide and wild and even short. And that's the Richmond mark.
Play on!
He's called play on, and it's gone over the boundary line, so a throw-in results.
At the 22-minute mark of the third quarter, the boundary umpire throws in Richmond's forward pocket. On the ball, Big Roberts and Jones of Carlton goes down to Walsh onto his left boot. Green of Richmond's there, but the bounce beat him. Quirk is there, taken away here by Mackay. Handballs over to Chandler to his right boot, to the centre of the ground, and coming out in front is Hunt, who's taken a good mark in front of John Nichols. John Nichols has had something like 2 kicks for the game so far, as Hunt takes his kick right up to the half forward flank. Big Roberts, and Hart sets himself, and Hart's mark. What a player this fella is.
He judged that beautifully. Dool not playing well now, and the rot set in right through the Carlton players. They've broken up their style of game, and Carlton just don't know what to do at this stage.
What can they do, Wes?
Well, the Carlton defence falling apart. There's not a great deal they can do. I think John Nichols perhaps should have a run himself on the ball and try and insert some influence.
Up comes Hart. 35 metres out. Again, it's a poor kick. And it's going to be out of bounds on the full. Well, they've missed 3 easy shots. Richmond have a chance to wrap this game up. 14-10 to 8-8. I'll never ever in my life after last week say that their side's got it won, but Richmond in a very strong position.
Gary Crane at full forward at the moment.
Gary Crane at full forward for Carlton as the umpire moves in now to tell Kevin Sheedy to move back on the mark as the player takes his kick. The player with the ball taking his kick is Vin Waite, number 30, pulling a photographer out of the way so as he can see where he's kicking to. There's the kick around the outer side flank. A pack fly, there's no mark. The bounce beat them all apart from Big Mike Green, who sprints after the ball and bounces true to him. A long handball back here, punts that anywhere. And moving out, the was a bad knock. Little Carter's got the ball now for Richmond. He steadies and shorts one here. Oh, no mark there to Big Roberts as play goes on. Wood came through, kicked it, but taken away by O'Connell.
O'Connell snaps one into the centre of the ground. Chance for John. Look, Robert McGee over the top. Good hand pass to Sproul. Sproul breaking away, and Richmond doing what they like. A big kick in towards the forward line there, but a good mark taken by Kevin Hall, who jarred his leg as he came down. And Carlton haven't had any luck whatsoever. None. Kevin Hall in the shadows there. Comes out and kicks the ball, places it. Not enough distance in that one. Mike Green tried. Carter playing well now. Hand pass is a wild one. And again, it's a breakaway by Quirk. Quirk has done well since he came on. Even kick in here. Robert Walls marks it. Beautifully positioned there. And a short one to Jezelenko. Jezelenko now at centre half forward. Also another short one out to Pennell. Pennell takes it. He's got a shot at goal from about 40 metres out.
What a shot.
It's wild, and it's going to be
out on the full, Butch.
Wow.
And a free kick to be taken here by Richmond's Dick Clay in the last line of defence. 25 minutes we're into now in the third quarter, and things don't look too good for the Carlton side, although it's not over yet, as Butch Gale said last week. We had Collingwood 6 goals in front of Richmond and they got beat. The kick by Clay, around looking for Green. Behind was Mackay, knocked it down there, taken away by Dix onto his left boot, and they fly on a mark to Robert Walls at centre half forward for Carlton, 60 metres out, well 50 metres anyway, directly in front of goal. A goal is badly needed here by the Blues to get back into the game. Can they get up? Can the Tigers hang on and go away? Walls, the vice captain.
Into time on.
Moves in, takes his kick, it's a drop punt, it looks good, it's swinging around, this one's okay, a goal to Carlton, kicked by Robert Walls from centre half forward. The scoreboard now, Richmond 14 goals, 10 on the scoreboard, leading Carlton 9 goals, 8, and a very good lead to the Tigers, Butch.
32 points, 10, 5 goals, 2, still a good lead, but it's still not beyond Carlton.
What about it, Wes, at the 25 and a half
It looks
minute
very
mark?
grim, but from the point of view of having Pennell wandering around up there on one leg, Carlton looked disheveled. There's a free kick.
That's right, a free kick as one player infringed over the dime, and it's going Carlton's way to Mackay. They could be on the move. A short one here, out to Robert Walls again. He's got the ball in front of him. Chased by McGee, a short kick, and moving in there was Kane, but he couldn't gather in the ball. Now we find Wood with the ball. Oh, a kick there by Waite, didn't come off, and it goes around to the half-forward line where Byrne moves out, and Byrne takes a good mark.
Carlton steadying down a little bit now. Another score could be a terrific advantage to them. Crane in towards centre half forward. Up they go. Nobody marked it. Chance here for Francis Burke, who's been moved back to full back, and an easy mark taken by Kevin Sheedy. Richmond are doing it easier. Out to Bartlett. Bartlett plays on now. He's got a good break and well shepherded by Wayne Walsh. Bartlett places the ball nicely. Chance for Croswell to mark.
Oh, good mark!
Oh, dragged that right out of Croswell's hand.
A beautiful mark by Stephen Ray, but the umpire's going to bounce it. What's wrong with you?
They both had
My God, the bounce, and Roberts goes up, taps it down here to Ray, who threw it away towards Sproul, and a free, I should say, Hart, and a free kick to be played to Royce Hart, very close to centre wing.
A lead from Michael Green, ignored by Royce Hart. A long kick now, a high one. Gives Waite the sitting shot. He punches down. Chance there for Stephen Ray, but look at this. Walsh, a long shot.
Look at it.
It's a goal.
Oh! Another one to Richmond. Kicked by Wayne Walsh. The scoreboard. Richmond, 15 goals, 10. Leading Carlton, 9 goals, 8. We've been playing now 27 and a half minutes into the third quarter. Where's they going away?
That's a backbreaker, one from Wayne Walsh, and once again this Carlton defence lacking concentration without Southby. It's made a big difference to them up there, and they seem to be letting these Richmond forwards run through now with handball. It's dangerous.
It's a tragic loss. Not too many sides can lose a full back, particularly of Southby's ability. In goes Mackay, taps it down to Crane. He's been overworked. A big long kick out here, finds young Craig Davis. He plays on now. Carlton looking a bit better as a long searching kick into that forward line. Oh, Richmond, but they messed it up. Jones has it. A bad shot here. He's forced back into the pocket. A short one out here towards Robert Walls. Chance for Pennell, can barely run. And away go Richmond again.
Walsh with the ball now, takes it from the half-back line, kicks it out the centre wing. There's no Richmond player there. Is the ball still in play? Oh, well, you wouldn't believe it, would you? The poor Carlton player, Chandler, slipped over and watched the ball trundle over the boundary line. There was no Richmond player within 25 to 30 yards from him. The throw-in. Number 15, Roberts, 43, Mackay, down it goes towards Sheedy. Sheedy hit very hard. Crane picks it up for Carlton, puts it to the forward line. Richmond players very defensive now as Mackay takes a kick here for being pushed in the back, said the umpire. And a free kick to, hello, it's on again. The umpire moving in.
He's changed his mind.
No, he hasn't changed his mind. It's a 15-metre penalty, is it? Yes, against John Nichols once more. And the free kick to be taken here by Robbie McGee of Richmond at the 28.5-minute mark. And Big John has not stopped talking all day to the umpire. Certainly won't help. Jesaulenko on the mark now as McGee moves in to take his kick. Oh, it's a short kick. It'll drop short. The players fly, and there it is, no mark. Royce Hart dropped an easy one. They're going in very hard. Coming out with the ball there was Mackay. Roberts has it for Richmond. Handball's over to Walsh once more to his left boot. Looking for Neil Barham, and Barham's marked. Barnes marked in the forward pocket.
29-minute mark into this third quarter, and Barnes with a shot at goal, getting pretty close to siren time. 15-10-100. Richmond is against 9-8-62. 38 points in front with Barnes shooting for goal. Looks good, but it's wide and will fall in for 1 point.
Neil Barnes has had one kick in each quarter. The scoreboard: Richmond 15 goals, 11 on the scoreboard, leading Carlton 9 goals, 8. Wesloffs.
Well, it does look grim. Carlton, though looking better in patches, are not able to maintain any genuine pressure, and this is not looking like a good Carlton side.
30 minutes gone into the third quarter as the fullback Kevin Hall will take the kick in now for Carlton.
Good kick too by Kevin Hall. Sun in their eyes, and players there didn't go for it. It was Chandler, isn't it? No, Dixon took the mark, only just. And now, wait a minute, players forcing themselves, says Sheedy. He's decided to waste a 15-metre penalty. My G's got away with it. He's a shrewdy.
He's a good player, Butcher's no doubt about that.
He's all hard. He's a toughie too. A 15-metre penalty, but he's given him away in the right spot.
Dixon with the ball for Carlton. Ashidi takes the mark and play goes on again. Straight down the centre half forward. Big Roberts is down there in defence. He flies. There's no mark. Fowler dropped an easy one. Out here it goes to Chandler. Chandler with the ball in front of him, chased by McGee. He has one bounce, lost control of the ball. Recovers. Can't pick it up, and they've lost another chance here. As we see Pennell with the ball, put in a short one, but Fowler chips in here and takes the ball over the boundary line for Richmond for a throw in the forward pocket for Carlton. 31 and a half minutes gone into the third quarter and the throw in.
Jones and Roberts, two huge men. Roberts pats it down, has a chance for a break here, but running into trouble there was Walsh. Kicked off the ground by Robert McGee. Play on, said the umpire. Crane has it over to Dixon. Dixon wide on that half-forward flank. A short one in and finds Jones. Now, he doesn't miss too many of these. This could give Carlton a bit of heart right at this stage.
Peter Jones had an unusually quiet day after a great season, and of course the pressure was on him for a big performance today, and he just hasn't had it. But here's a chance to atone a little, as he's only 25 metres out and he's directly in front.
Up comes Peter Jones, right on the siren, and he's kicked 1 point.
He's taken, Peter Jones, Butcher's taken 2 marks for the game.
Well, it's unbelievable. Mind you, Ted, this has not been a big man's game today. The ball has been mark and kick, but a lot of defensive play. Scoreboard 15-11, 101 is against 9-9-63, and that's one devil of a lead.
And we're 32 and a half minutes now into the third quarter as the kick in by Clay is a good one. Oh, it's a great kick. It's out the centre wing. Big Roberts put his fist up, knocked the ball close to the boundary line, chased by Bruce Dool, and it goes over for a throw-in on centre wing. That was a powerful kick by Dick Clay, as we're very close to siren time to end the third quarter. As a matter of fact, there goes the siren now to end the third quarter. The three-quarter time scores: Richmond 15 goals, 11, 101. Carlton 9 goals, 963. This is Ted Whitten along with Butch Gale and Wes Loves from the MCG, the Grand Final for 1973 for viewers throughout TCN 9 Sydney, NWS 9 South Australia, QTQ 9 Queensland and MBN3 Newcastle. The start of the last quarter, and away they go. Richmond in front by 38 points. The bounce goes to Bartlett. Bartlett to his right boot, and Richmond are in attack already, up looking for Big Barn, but there's no mark. Play on as the call. Down to the ground it goes, and umpire moves in to bounce the ball. Butch Gale.
Kevin Hall trapping the ball there, and Ian Robertson, the umpire, moving in, will definitely bounce, but I thought he would have even given a free kick against Kevin Hall there. In they go. Jones pats it down, but they're away back to Dool. Dool recovered that nicely, kicks it up long and high, a free kick against Mackay. They're not able to be seen. Robert Walls has got a break straight into goal, and it's just the comeback in towards Nichols.
Touch!
Oh, touch through for 1 point. That's the sort of football Ted can make it still a game of this as yet.
Oh yes, Butch, it's only 6 straight kicks or 7 straight kicks and they've hit the front, Carlton, if they can manage to do this. 15-11, 101 Richmond to Carlton, 9 goals, 10-64. The kick in now, Dick Clay, the kick is falling short out looking for Roberts. That's close to the boundary line, he's tapped it over. I think the sun got in his eyes there and he lost sight of the ball. In the ruck, number 15, Roberts of Richmond, the white shorts, and Jones, number 28, pushes Roberts in the back. No free kick down to Bartlett. He's a great player, this boy. Steadies, well shepherded by his teammates, and kicks up to the forward line. No mark. It goes to Hart, who punches the ball hard and fast there. Picked up by Dool of Carlton from the fence, and puts in a short one to Jones, knocked away by Bartlett. The will o' the wisp with a big punch, and down they go. They're going in hard now, as we see Carlton go into attack. Up to the half forward line. Nichols is there, flies. No mark to the ground. Walls picks up, shoots at goal. This will be close, this one. What's the result? It hit the post. Checked there by Robert Walls, and it hit the post for another point to Carlton. They go to 9 goals, 11 now to Richmond. 15 goals, 11. 6 goals the difference.
Exactly 6 goals the difference.
Walls has kicked 1 goal, 4, Butch.
Well, last year he kicked 6 straight. Up goes the kick, up goes Jones. Down it comes behind the back, picked up nicely by Quirk. Hard in there, Kane, a good punch down. Struggling for the ball, there is Gary Crane. Picks it up, a right foot, shot at goal. It looks like now can it be a comeback? 5 goals the difference. 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes now, and there's the scoreboard. 15-11, 101. Carlton 10-11, 65.
Where's Luffs?
Well, they're still up against it, Ted. There's no doubt. Pennell at full forward. 17-man would be a great finish. Carlton capable of doing it, but they'll need to get the run on. They'll need all the luck and not hitting the post. That was a bad start.
Back at centre now, umpire Robertson bounces the ball or moves in to bounce it, and there it is. It's a good high bounce. Roberts moves in with Jones. Jones gets a tap down to Sheedy, out to Bartlett to his left boot, up to the forward line. Mike Green in the race for the ball, along with Ben Waite. Green waiting for the ball to bounce to him, it won't do so. He's got the fumbles. He's down. Moving in there was Ray. Green, nothing to do with it. And the umpire said he couldn't get rid of it, and I will bounce it. On the half forward flank for Richmond, umpire Robinson moves in to bounce the ball. Green on the ball for Richmond, and there is Jones for Carlton. The bounce, they go up high, knocked to the ground. Crane's in there, falls to the deck, and the umpire will bounce once more.
I think we'll see a fair bit of this, Ted. There's a lot of very weary boys out there. A most difficult day. Sheedy picks himself up and walks away. A grand game today, Sheedy. Bounce now, it's pretty well centre wing. In goes Big Jones, taps it down neatly to Croswell. Croswell's kick in towards centre half forward. Racing across there is Sproul. Sproul's hand pass, put Bartlett in real trouble. Bartlett still trying, and I would have said in possession there, but Bartlett gets the free.
I would have paid the free kick definitely to Bartlett.
All right, we all have our own opinions. Bartlett runs on through the mark now and kicks in towards the half forward flank. Waits, the only one decided. Sun in his eyes, now plays, and he's got to go. Does the right thing, right down the centre. Chance for Wood, but missed the call there. Down onto the ground, Craig Davis over to Chandler, takes it back himself again. A Richmond player down behind play. Up goes Pennell, down goes Robert Walls, and Big Roberts moved in, messed up the hand pass. Pull back here, there's a chance. Whoa, free kick.
Carlton's way to Brian Quirk at centre half forward. Can Carlton get up now? Quirk at centre half forward with the ball. Richmond, 5 goals exactly in front. We've only been playing 5 minutes into the last quarter. The kick by Quirk will fall short. Richmond players are there, but there's no mark. To Walls, snaps it, goal! And the second goal, kicked by Robert Walls, and the scoreboard now. Richmond, 15 goals, 11 to Carlton, 11 goals, 11.
There's a sign of a Richmond crumble there. 2 players. Both of them could have marked it, and both went for the punch. Only 4 goals in this game now.
Well, gee, another one to make it handy now, Butch, because you can almost see the Carlton players lifting and spurring one another on.
5 minutes gone in the last quarter. Umpire Robinson at centre field bounces.
What an amazing game this is. An awkward bounce finds Gary Crane. Scrambling kick, Sheedy over to Sproul. Sproul to Ray. Ray's big kick up here towards full forward. Bam, punched away by Kevin Hall. Down to Hart. Hart sprang. Oh, but it's dropping the ball, and I reckon there was a well-earned free there because Hart was trying to duck his head underneath.
Played for it.
A dead set right free kick, that. Waite takes the free. Now let's argue. Waite.
The ball takes his kick around centre wing. The pack set themselves a free kick. Should have been paid to Burke, wasn't, against Mackay. And this time Mackay will get the free kick. From the centre of the ground, David Mackay of Carlton. And the Richmond players starting to become a little frustrated now. The kick will drop a little short and Morris is on for Richmond. Morris on the ground for Richmond as play goes on. Burke of Richmond gets him out of trouble but puts it straight into the hands of a Carlton player out there, and it's Brian Quirk. Quirk now with the ball for Carlton, puts them into attack again. It's kicked high to the forward line. They set and they fly, and there's no mark. The umpire called play on. Taken away here by Dick Clay. Pushed in the back, out of trouble. Brings it back around the half-back flank where they fly. And little Bartlett's there trying to win the ball. Morris comes in just on the ground. One bounce, and away he goes. Kicks it up to the forward line, and there's no Richmond player in front. Stewart's behind play, and O'Connell has taken a mark.
O'Connell wide on that half-back flank now. Only two players in that forward line. Hand pass to Dool. Dool's kick into towards Jesselenko. Jesselenko missed it. Green also down nicely to Bartlett. Bartlett's kick deep out towards the centre wing. Richmond playing it safe. Dool's punch finds the boundary line and a throw in on centre wing.
Wesloff's who went off the ground for Richmond.
Ted, I think it was Carter's gone off, and a very useful player they've been able to bring on.
Okay, so Kevin Morris is on the ground for Richmond. The throw in. Mackay taps it back here to Walsh. Whoa, there's going to be a free kick up the field. Not paid, and a mark's been paid. Tim Carlton here, and it's been paid to Gary Crane. Gary Crane some 35 metres out from goal. Richmond 4 goals in front of Carlton. Can they come back? We've only been playing now 8 minutes into the last quarter. Still plenty of time. Crane's kick is a good one. Goal kicked by Gary Crane. Look at the crowd going wild with excitement here at the MCG. Can the Tigers hang on? The scoreboard. Richmond 15-11, 101. Carlton 12-11, 83. Butch Gale.
Well, what a wonderful, crazy game this is. It's never certain, and Richmond now starting to crumble. There's the 8-minute mark. And that'll mean about 22 minutes to play. A lot can happen. In they go. Jones wrestles with Mike Green. Another one from Chandler. Puts it out high to Wayne Walsh. He missed it. And Francis Burke misses it. Picked up by Mackay. Mackay back to Walsh. He missed it. Dick Clay also fumbled. Mackay hits down. There's a chance now for a nice break to Morris. Morris of Richmond steadying them down from that half-back line. In towards centre-half forward. Roberts from behind. Right. A golden stretch right over the pack. And he's the player. Long, searching kick over towards Quirk and Walsh. Quirk gets the front position. Pushing, shoving, and down under the ground it comes. Taken away by Chandler to Robert Walls. And Walls marks at centre-half forward.
Kick by Walls goes up to the forward area. They fly. There's no mark. Out into the open spaces with the ball. Payne. Handballs out here. Kicked off the ground by Big Mike Green. Goes out to Wood. Wood with the ball for Richmond. Pushed off balance up to the forward area. They all run over the ball. And Peter Jones has it. Puts Carlton back into attack. And Jesselenko has marked and plays on. Right down to the forward area. A chance for Carlton. But Dick Clay got an easy mark. Taken away by Green. Up to the half-back line. No mark. Bartlett's there for Richmond. He's held. Gets out of trouble. And around centre wing where we see waiting for it Byrne. He can't mark it. Sproul of Richmond dives on the ball. A long handball. Finds Ian Stewart. Steadies. Shoots at goal. Neil Barnes down there with Billy Waite. And no mark. Taken away here by Carlton. And Kevin Hall for Carlton. Puts him out of attack and kicks over the boundary line. On the full. And a free kick to Richmond.
A tragic error there. And this will allow Richmond to come back into attack. Wayne Walsh, no, he's insisting that Stephen Ray take the kick, and Ray now is forced to kick in for Richmond, and he would be a good 80 metres out from goal, wide and deep on the half-forward flank. Can Richmond score now? They need it, and desperately. Up they go, another mark to Jones of Carlton, and what a wonderful comeback this is. Sheedy in there. He'll do anything to win this game. Jones out to Waite. And here's Carlton's Patton. Waite steps around through that half-back line. Oh, a risky one. A hand pass out to Chandler. Bartlett moving in. Look at him go. Bartlett, round he goes. Took the whack and went on with it. Straight in towards goal. and it's going to drop short. On Martin Stewart. Stewart, how good is this fella?
How good is he? Butch, he's the player to put it back in business there.
Right.
Ian Stewart, now this is not an impossible angle, Butch, for him to kick from. He's already kicked Ronnie Wilson 3 goals for Richmond. Oh, he's on a terrible bad angle now, Stewart. Let's see what he can do with it as he moves in now. A lot of concentration. He's well over the bound line. If he kicks this, it'll be a miracle, I tell you. Looks like he's going to try the boomerang kick. There it goes. He's kicked it goal and he's missed it. He's put it through for 1 point. Couldn't understand Ian Stewart there.
Yeah, but it's a valuable one, Teddy. Now it's 3 goals won. Now it'll need 4 goals to win this game. 102 points. It's against 83.
And we're 11 minutes into the last.
And that's made it most difficult for Carlton. But still, Carlton starting to play well, but they're steadying this down. I reckon Kevin Hall should have got this ball back in quickly. But no, steadying it down. Crowd seething with excitement here. The kick deep out towards the centre of the ground. Michael Green punches out towards Bartlett. Bartlett, Toole, slips around, gets the kick. High in towards full forward again. Baum infringes against Kevin Hall and not only infringes.
Same thing.
There's a free kick or a mark being played here to Kevin Hall against Neil Baum from fullback. Wes?
Well, costly, a good mark taken by Kevin Hall on that part. Lucky to get up on his feet.
Okay, Kevin Hall now from fullback puts the Blues out of trouble. Kicks straight down the centre. We find go up there Mike Green of Richmond, and Green's taken a good mark. A great mark to Michael Green here of Richmond, the umpire running in to talk to Peter Jones, and it looks like a 15-metre penalty being played against Carlton. And Mike Green now from centre half forward is well within kicking distance, I would say, some 45 metres out from goal. Can he kick it? Can he put him another goal on the board? He tries very hard. It looks pretty good, although it's offline. Distance is okay. And another point on the scoreboard to Richmond. The scoreboard now, let's recap the scores. Richmond, 15 goals, 13, 103. Leading Carlton, 12 goals, 11, 83. And we've been playing now 13 minutes into the last quarter.
A bad error here. Kevin Hall again taking too long. They've got to get the ball back into play quickly. A chance for Michael Green again over the top. Mackay. Down it comes to Crane. Crane, a big prime mover for Carlton. A long searching kick down to Craig Davis. A shot.
Fennell
deserves the medal to just even stay out there, but he's got a shocking shot for goal. He's a right footer, right, Wes?
He is a right footer,
and he's on his right in the right pocket to have a shot, but it's not an easy one. Desperately needing it, Carlton. Now the crowd silent as he comes up to kick. Curling it in. Not much in it, but it's only 1 point.
Oh, boy. What a finish to a grand final in the last quarter. 14 minutes gone. The scoreboard. Richmond 15-13 to Carlton 12-12. Can the Tigers hang on? Dick Clay. He must get a lot of distance with this kick. The big Carlton ruckmen are out there on the outer side. It's dropping a little short. Mike Green's in front. There's no mark. It's to the ground. They're battling hard for the ball, and the umpire decides to ball up on the half-forward flank for Carlton. Umpire Ian Robinson. Looking at you on your screen is Kevin Bartlett, right behind the umpire. The bounce. Up goes Green and Jones. They get the tap down. It goes back to Jones. He brings it out onto his left boot. A high popping kick to Jesselenko. He marks it. Plays on. Jesselenko kicks up towards John Nichols, who shepherds. And it hit the post. It's hit the post.
Twice in this quarter.
On occasion. In this quarter. The scoreboard now. Richmond 15-13 to Carlton 12-13. And 18 points the difference at the halfway mark, and Clay takes the kick in.
A short one and finds Bartlett, but he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Now Richmond tumbling into errors. Now this is the sort of game where every kick, every touch of the ball, every mistake is so important. Halfway through this last quarter, here's the kick, a beautiful kick by Quirk. Oh, wait a minute, he's hooked it right out of bounds, and it's tit for tat there. And a kick in to be taken by Richmond again, and it's
Rex Hunt with the ball now from the last line of the fence. His kick goes pretty close to the centre. Michael Green's out there in front position, and he has been paid the mark, or he should be, yes. The umpire's blown the whistle, and players of both sides looking extremely tired.
Notice Richmond steadying this game down again now, Ted.
Well, they're trying to get their second breather, I would suppose, Butch, because it was a hard first half of this last quarter by Carlton. The kick by Green goes around, and Royce Hart got up in the clouds and pulled down a beauty.
Oops,
and he's
has he hurt
too.
himself? He's got a cramp.
Royce Hart has cramped, but he's on centre wing. The outer side of the MCG, looking for someone to kick to. Will he go for the short one, or will he put it up high for the big flyers? Hart, the captain of Richmond, kicks a high one, hoping the big Brian Roberts will fly and take a grab. He got up but couldn't hold it. Back to Roberts, thrown to the ground, taken away by Carlton. Waite with the ball. The umpire decides to ball up.
Yes, a bounce. It could have easily been a free kick against Croswell there. A wild slosh at the ball. In they go. Stewart can barely walk there in the background. Over to Mackay. Mackay kick clears into the centre. Jezelenko, by geez, giving him some chances. Jezelenko in the centre of the ground now. Plays on. Tackled by Sheedy, but Jezelenko's kick is a good long one out towards the flank. Francis Burke can barely walk, gets the ball, tries to give it to Walsh, succeeds in doing so. Play on, says the umpire. Wayne Walsh now got a beautiful break and hooks it out towards the flank of Richmond. Over to Sheedy. And he's hooked it for 1 point.
Gee, he could have ran right into goal there, Sheedy, but he hurried his kick just a little bit too much and went through for another point. 14 points Richmond have kicked, 15-14 to Carlton, 12 goals, 13. There's 19 points of difference in favour of Richmond. Kevin Hall from full-back now, 17 minutes gone in the last quarter. The kick-in favours the outer side. Looking for Mackay, free kick there against Mackay. Will be taken. Morris!
Holy
that was a stupid thing. Wes, what's the idea of that?
Look, there's no explanation for that, Ted. I just don't know how they think.
Okay, so Morris takes a free kick now with a 15-metre penalty against Carlton. And I suppose he is within kicking distance. And he steadies, puts it on its way. The distance is okay, but it's offline. And through for another point to Richmond. They now go to 15 goals, 15 on the scoreboard. To Carlton, 12 goals, 13. And 18 minutes have gone in the last quarter. Butch Gale.
I'll tell you what, Ted, I reckon it's hard on players, but it's getting harder on commentators. Up they come now. There's a good kick in by Kevin Hall. Up they are. This fella's killing them now in this last quarter, Mike Green. He's been the Rock of Gibraltar and Bartlett. And that's a very effective bit of play to mark the fullback's kicking. The ball now hard back into goal. The clock ticking on. 18 minutes now gone. This will go about 30 minutes to 31. A good long kick, won't make the distance. Chance for a mark there, no mark, down onto the ground. Royce Hart moving through, gets the ball, a right foot snap at goal. It's falling right on the line and Croswell takes the mark in the teeth of goal.
Oh, what a mark that was. A lifesaver for Carlton. Looks like Croswell's going to favour the centre of the ground. He steadies, he's down to the outer side now, gets it out there quickly. It's all Carlton here as Peter Jones takes a mark and plays on. This is their football, Carlton, a handball. Mackay with it, one bounce, chased here and puts a short kick in here, and it was offline a little bit. Robbie McGee's there, bad football by Richmond as players battle for it hard. Taken away with a long handball to Nichols onto his right boot, and Nichols has missed it from 12 yards out. John Nichols, right in front of goal, missed the easiest of easiest. Where's Loves?
Well, Ted, it can happen, I suppose. He just wasn't to know who was on his tail on that occasion, but even so, you wouldn't believe it unless you saw it.
19 and a half minutes gone in the last quarter.
There's been some shocking errors here, but that was not Nichols' fault. There's a kick in by Dick Clay. They're getting the ball back in quickly. Again up when Mike Green tapped it down nicely. Chance for Morris. Good hand pass. Missed up back to Jezelenko. Jezelenko's kick, it went like a flash. Nichols up Wolves. But no, it's a Richmond mark. Richmond mark to Dick Clay. By gee, I thought Wolves had that one. And Dick Clay, a solid mark, Ted.
It was a strong mark, Butch. He's got no one to kick to. I see Green running across here, calling for it, but he's playing from behind. Walsh is in there, comes out to Sheedy, who's very tired, falls over, handballs over to Walsh, I should say, and Walsh puts it right up to the forward line. Ian Stewart's there, and Stewart has marked at centre half forward. Now there's 2 Richmond forwards down here and 3 Carlton defenders. Now, whatever he does is going to be risky. There's the lead by Neil Baum if he marks it. Yes, he has. And a great lead and a great pass.
Not a bad player to be passing the ball. He honoured that lead, and that's very cool football by Richmond. 20-minute mark, and they're steadying down. If Baum can kick this, if he can kick it. Baum, a good shot for goal. He's put a fairly long one in, but it's hit the post. Hit the post, and that still gives Carlton a chance.
That's 3 posters we've had in the last quarter. And Neil Baum has had one kick in each quarter. 15-16 Richmond to Carlton. 12 goals, 14. 20 points the difference, and we're at the 21-minute mark.
Then Wade on his own there, and Kevin Hall caught napping, Ted.
Okay, comments from Wes Lofts, the former Carlton and Victorian fullback. My co-commentator Butch Gale, 215 games with Fitzroy, a former captain. And a mark has been paid here to Royce Hart. And the umpire has played the mark to Hart on the half-forward flank. And as Butch Gale said before, Richmond starting to slow the game down a little bit, because I think, well, they should be anyway, both players of both sides very exhausted in this intense heat. Now there's a lead from Green, and he's on it here, and little Sproul goes out too, and a pass is astray from Hart, comes back here to Mike Green onto his left boot. Oh, but it's a shocking looking kick, and Bruce still sits underneath, waits, no mark. Play on as the call as we find Hart with the ball. Gets it out here towards Wood. Wood of Richmond tackled very hard, and Dools there.
Holding the ball.
And the free kick goes Carlton's way.
Play on.
No,
he's got to bring it back.
It's a bit inconsistent, Butch. He let one go down the other end here earlier in the quarter, the similar type.
I think you're only hoping, Wes.
No.
The kick's got to come back here now to be taken by Brian Quirk, and he was very firm in his decision. Quirk trying to set up that chain over to Jezelenko. That was interfered with there, chipped in by Sheedy. Sheedy's hand pass out to Royce Hart, but Royce Hart can barely hobble. Burn in there. Gee, there's some courage being shown out there. Look at him, he's going again. Royce Hart right in towards goal again. Up they fly, and Barmer's mark. And that was just sheer guts, Ted. You can
By Royce Hart, it was sheer guts. He's a great player.
I've never seen anything like this.
Now Neil Baum would only be 15 metres out from goal. He's on an angle, but he kicked 6 goals here last week, or 5 in the preliminary final. I don't think he's kicked 1 goal today. He moves in now from 15 to 20 metres out to take his shot for goal. Kick this, and I'd say they've got it. Oh, but it's touched by the man on the mark. Was it? Yes. 1 point. A shocking, disgraceful kick at goal in a grand final.
Big crowd that have seen a comedy of errors in some respects, but they're all serious to the players out there. The tenseness has created it. And there's a big kick at last by Kevin Hall, but Sheedy dropped in, read the play beautifully, and he now again is steadying it up. Richmond's tactics have been perfect. High kick now by Sheedy in towards Baum. Baum's mark! Great mark
this time.
But look, the Carlton players are exhausted there, and this has just been wear them down. Neil Baum now. Second shot in a matter of half a minute.
But since half-time, Richmond have missed 8 direct shots at goal.
Neil Baum, 23 minutes gone. Neil Baum, 12 metres out. Square on in front. A most important shot.
Hasn't missed that one.
There it is.
It's the second goal kicked by Neil Baum, and another one to Richmond. And the large crowd here, the Richmond supporters in particular, tremendously excited. The scoreboard, Richmond 16 goals, 17, 113 are leading Carlton. 12 goals, 14, 86 at the 23 and a half, 24-minute mark now into the last quarter. Wes, looks like curtains now.
Well, it's not all over, but it looks very grim, and of course Richmond needed that goal to stop the ascendancy of this Carlton side.
Look at the big coats there.
He must be wondering now what he can do with tactics. I see he shifted Croswell back to full forward again, but perhaps it's too late.
You can see a large section of the crowd leaving the MCG knowing that it looks like Richmond have got this premiership tied up. Back at centre field, umpire Ian Robinson moves in to bounce the ball. 25-minute mark just on. The bounce is not a good one. Knocked away here over towards Walsh of Richmond, who lost possession of it, regained it again, and kicks up forward where Barnes comes out and missed the mark. And swooping in now is Byrne of Carlton, playing very defensive out towards Dixon. Dixon flies, knocked away there by Morris, just on the ground, onto his left boot, shoots at goal, they fly, and no mark. Down towards Byrne once more for Carlton.
Burns kick, finds the centre, the 2 big fellas go for it, Roberts and Jones. Jones recovers quicker, and pass out to Quirk. Quirk breaks clear from centre wing. It's a hot attack here in towards Jezelenko, but Francis Burke lost the ball. And it's going to be a free kick to Francis Burke. Holding the man was the decision, and a sad one for Carlton. Francis Burke now from centre half back. Time ticking away again. Into time on now. Short one out to the flank, and a nice mark taken by Wood. Gee, there's been some courage shown out here today.
25 minutes have gone.
Woods kick. Into Woods. Balm again. Balm too big and too strong but can't hold it. Down onto the ground it came. Balm still in there. Wrestling away. Pushes the ball out. The umpire said play on it. Byrne clears the ball into Mackay. Mackay overran it. Down to Roberts. Over to Walsh. Walsh in trouble. Gives it to Morris again. A fresh man on has been a beauty. Out the Woods. Stewart and Waite. Waite's got it. He breaks. Goes for a long kick. Deep out to Brian Quirk. No trouble in marking. Oop, dropped it. Played on, said the umpire. Quirk got a short one in here. Over towards Walsh. Walsh met solidly. Gee, they're just walking after the ball now. And it's just a wrestle. Snapped up here by Sproul. Sproul's high kick into work the goal square. Up they go, Mike Green. Down to Stewart and Trimble through for one more point.
Another point on the scoreboard to Richmond, and the players certainly look tired. The scores now at the MCG at the 26.5-minute mark. Richmond 16 goals, 18, 114, leading Carlton 12 goals, 14, 86 as Kevin Hall takes the kick in. Goes up the centre, looking for a Carlton player. Has been marked by Sproul of Richmond at centre-half forward. A little bit of play acting there, hoping for a 15-metre penalty, but umpire Robinson said, no, sir, you take your kick. You want it the hard way? So away he goes. Sproul with the ball from centre-half forward. High kick. Oh, a nice-looking kick. It'll make the distance, but it's offline. And goes through for another point to Richmond. At the 27-minute mark now, the last quarter, 16 goals, 19 Richmond to Carlton, 12 goals, 14.
Their tactics have been extraordinary against a top side like Carlton. They must have worked this out beautifully. And their only effort now is to keep control of the ball. Keep pushing it back. There's the punch down to Hart again. Hart, hand passes out to Wood. Wood's got a shot at goal here from about 20 metres out on an angle, but he's put another point on the board, and that's all they've got to do. Just play out time. 27 minutes gone.
Another point to Richmond, 16 goals, 20 to Carlton, 12-14. As Hall takes the kick in again, goes looking for Peter Jones, in short there, but no mark. Jones handballs to Quirk. Quirk dummies beautifully, eventually gets his kick up to the half-forward line, and moving out for the ball is Kane. Jezelenko has it in his control. Handballs this time over towards Robert Walls, who got the fumbles. Robbie McGee comes in, the former Footscray player, gets the ball, swings onto his left boot, and kicks back to the centre of the ground. There's three Carlton players, and they all missed it, and so did Wood of Richmond. Gary Crane, the veteran, onto his left boot, and Francis Burke is there. Underneath the ball, Dick Clayon, Fowler's there too. Fowler overran it, taken away here by Craig Davis of Carlton, who swings, kicked away by Burke, and a throw-in will take place on the half-forward line for Carlton, the outer side.
Here they are now, a valiant effort put up here by two wonderful teams. 28 minutes gone now. In they go, Big Roberts and Mackay. Mackay got it down, it's kicked in nicely towards Jezelenko and Dixon, but over the top went Walsh. He lost it, recovered it again. Tackled by Dool. Walsh and Dool struggling. Dool pushes in the back and an obvious free kick. And it was more from tiredness than anything else. Now Wayne Walsh can barely walk back to get the kick.
15-metre penalty.
And the umpire is quite correct.
Well, he had to play it.
Well, he did, I suppose, but strike me, the players, when they're very tired, Ted.
Yeah, but they've still got rules, you know that. Now, Walsh with the ball from centre-half forward now will take his free kick. And I don't think we'll make the distance, but still he'll put it in the square for sure. There it goes, it's off the side of the boot, dropping short. Moving out there is O'Connell, is it? Yes, and he has taken a mark. O'Connell, a poor game from him this afternoon, but by gee, he's missed a lot of football. Out it goes towards Wood. Wood of Richmond has the ball, goes for a handball, he's in trouble. He handballs this time, out to Sproul. Sproul has the ball, drops it, picks it up again. Handballs out here towards Burke. His long handball goes into the hands of Quirk. Quirk is pulled to the ground and his kick falls short. Big Roberts goes too tired to even turn around as we find moving out now Mackay. His handball went astray to Kane to Walsh. Walsh to his right boot, up to the full forward area, and Dool dropped an easy chest mark, and away he goes.
Dool recovers, kicks a long one. Jezelenko marked this, and he's on his own. Being hotly tackled by Fowler, a long searching kick, but a good solid mark to Dick Clay. And there's pretty well the end. 30 minutes gone. Relieving kick out here towards the flank. Finds Fowler. Fowler on the half-back line. They're walking around the players. Sheedy leads in, tries to trap the ball, does so, and plays on from centre wing. Wide and wild out towards the flank. Out came Mike Green. Mike Green, a marvellous last quarter. And a long hand pass. Finds Hart.
It's all over. Premiership side for season 1973. Tommy Hayfie. Well, what a day the Richmond side have had here this afternoon, Butch and Wes. There's John Nichols, the disappointed captain and coach of the Carlton Football Club. As you see, Tom Hayfie running out onto the ground to receive his players after a sensational victory in the grand final. They won the under-19 premiership this morning here. They won the reserve 18 premiership, and now they've won the senior premiership here at the MCG. Look at Tom Hayfie, the very excited, jubilant coach of the Richmond Football Club. What a tremendous wheel it must be for him. Tommy Hayfie. And the final scores here in the grand final for 73. Richmond, 16 goals, 20, 116. Defeated Carlton, 12 goals, 14, 86. And but there's one thing I'd like to say here, Wes, and this is not a very nice thing. All Carlton players are walking off the ground.
No, Ted, it was decided this year that the would be cut down, and this was decided before the game.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about that. I must have mistook that. But you can see Robert Walls walking off the ground there. Very disappointed vice-captain of the Carlton side, and the successful team, Tommy Hayfie and his Richmond players, have won the premiership, and what a year they have had. The presentation, I believe, will be made, Butch, is it by the Governor-General? Let's have a look. The presentation will be made by His Excellency the Governor of Victoria, will present the winning cup. Tremendous win. Just briefly, Wes and Butch, a great win to Richmond.
Well, it was, and a thoroughly deserved one. I thought it was well thought out, as Butch mentioned quite a few times during the game, of the good tactics by Tom Hayfie. I thought they got on top early. They used a lot of physical force early. This was well applied. And then, of course, in the last quarter, we saw when Carlton got a run on, who ran out of gas, but also Richmond, I thought, steadied the game beautifully, and they took, Mark Green played a big role in it, and they players steadied the game and slowed it right down, and I think they thoroughly deserved it.
Butch Gale.
A powerful game by Richmond. A powerful game, well planned, well executed, and beautifully handled at the right times. Their communication between coach, captain, and like you could mention a lot of players, but I'd say it's got to be Bartlett's game. A great performance on he, and an exhausting game for both players.
All right, Butch, well, there it is. We certainly hope that everybody that has been watching the game has enjoyed it this afternoon. The final scores here at the MCG, 16-20 to Richmond, 116, defeating Carlton, 12-14, 86. We've enjoyed bringing you the football every Saturday afternoon on the National 9 Sporting Network, and I would like to take this opportunity in thanking Russell Goodrick up there in New South Wales, and also to Hayden Cunningham, and also a special thanks to our statistician Ronnie Wilson. Ron, thanks for all your help, and also to my co-commentator Alan Butch Gale. It's been a wonderful year, Butch, and we certainly hope we can continue with it next year. There's Royce Hart before we go with the Premiership Cup. He's walked up the stairs to receive the cup from the Governor of Victoria. Anyway, Wes, thanks for your help throughout the finals, mate. And to Johnny Crilly, our director, and all the camera boys and technicians, it's been a tremendous year for football on Channel 9, and we certainly hope we can rejoin you next year. So with all relay stations throughout Australia who have enjoyed the telecast this afternoon, please go back to your own transmission, and we'll see you again on Channel 9 next year from the MCG on the Channel 9 Sporting Network. Well, there goes Francis Burke. Look at him sprinting around there, Butch. We thought he had a crook knee.
I don't know. When you got that in your hand, Ted, well, you'll, I reckon you'd find life and energy. Look, it proves one thing, I think, the whole affair, that this week's rest didn't help Carlton one bit. No, well, and a terribly hard program that's been set by Tom Hayfie, the Richmond coach, has won the day today, and a beautifully thought out game. Hysterical crowd here. In fact, Ted, when you look around, very few people have left the ground.
That's
out
right.
of 120,000 people, there's the most excited Tom Hayfie, Alan Cook. Great performance by Richmond. Nothing else but great. A tough affair. There's Sproul holding the cup up, and there'll be a few little drinks in that, I'd say.
Wes, you've been through it all. You know what it's like out there.
Well, I think it's just one of ecstasy, and one that has to be felt to experience to believe. It's a tremendous thing, and obviously the build-up for a grand final over the last week would have been tremendous, and to actually win a game, win the grand final, they'd be feeling just something just out of this world at the moment.
Well, Tommy Hafey and all the boys, as Butch Gale said, there's Royce Hart holding the premiership cup aloft. And a wonderful year. This player, I suppose, only played 6 full games for the season, Royce Hart, been dogged with injuries throughout the season. And what an ounce of luck for Robbie McGee, coming over from Footscray and moving straight into a winning premiership side. Certainly a great thrill for everybody concerned who is connected with the Richmond Football Club. Well, there it is. It's all over. The last kick, the last bounce, the last goal flags have been waved, and the scoreboard for football has been used for the last time for season 1973. We hope you all enjoyed the game, and there goes the big whale moving off the ground. So that's all there is about it. On behalf of Johnny Crilly, our director, Ronnie Wilson, our statistician, Wes Lofts and Butch Gale, my co-commentators, this is Ted Whitten bidding you a very good afternoon from the MCG.